environment like we're about to play in on the road.
It's the whiteout. This place will be rocking like it's never rocked before.
Big Ten versus SEC are always good matchups.
We got to go out there and we got to dominate, just show them that the SEC is where it's at.
Conference pride and so much more. Watching a presentation of the Big Ten on ABC. Now, 21 years ago, Penn State special teamer Adam Taliaferro was seriously injured in a game at Ohio State. The prognosis was very grim, but he worked hard. And a year later, 20 years ago this month, Adam Taliaferro led Penn State out on the field. He suffered recent setbacks, but after again working his butt off, Adam Taliaferro walks out tonight as a Penn State honorary captain to a standing ovation and a shower of love from these fans. As if the Lions needed one more emotional reason to get charged up. Auburn won the toss. They deferred, so Penn State, of course, will take the football. And we'll get a look at Sean Clifford, veteran quarterback out of Cincinnati, in this dynamic offense. A squadron of good running backs, tight ends. Talked about Jahan Dotson. Auburn's defense is real, though. Anders Carlson debooted away. Typically reaches the end zone with kickoffs. Devin Ford back deep for the Lions. Enjoy the whiteout tonight, folks. And Penn State will take over from the 25-yard line. Sean Clifford called himself the most confident quarterback in America recently, Kirk.
I like to hear that confidence. Last year was a struggle for all the teams and a lot of the quarterbacks with COVID, but he had a tough year. With the turnovers, he's got a new offensive system. Comes out of Cincinnati St. Xavier, a powerhouse in high school football, and has a lot of moxie and a lot of belief in this system and these players around him.
Can Penn State's offensive line hold up and protect him and open some holes for Noah Cain? What a comeback story he is, the Penn State tailback. They fake it to him. End around. Early touch for Dotson. Tigers give chase. Nowhere to run for Penn State's playmaker. He's dropped for a 2-yard loss.
Early
Chick-fil-A impact players.
Early Derek Mason's defense staying home. Take a quick peek at the impact players tonight. Noah Cain will have to get on track running and catching the ball to the backfield. You just saw Dotson, known as his ability to catch the ball. Papo 0, the leader in the middle of that defense at 21. Smoke Mondays, played a lot of football, making his 14th start for the Auburn defense and leads that back end.
Second straight game they give Dotson a touch on the opening play, but this is not Ball State.
Going trips into the boundary up top.
Clifford looks that way. Gets the completion to DeAndre Lambert Smith. He's run out, and it'll be third down and about 7.
You know, the biggest difference I've seen, Chris, in the first couple of weeks with Mike Yurcich now coming over from Texas as the new offensive coordinator, a much more aggressive attack this year from Penn State.
He was hoping to avoid these third and longs. Tigers only rushed 3. Clifford has plenty of time. Nobody open. Still dancing. Now fires to the sidelines. It's caught over there, and it is a first down to Lambert Smith. He had all night to throw.
Yeah, and it really, that looks easy, but I'll tell you what's tough is waiting for the receiver to work back. Watch him work back, and eventually Clifford's able to find him.
They play with tempo and hand it off to Cain, who's slammed down hard by big Owen Papo, that middle linebacker. Number 0, as you said, is going to be a force tonight. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, he'll be very active. You take a look at all the skills. Lambert Smith making that play. They feel he could be a future star. Really good job of working back on that third down to help the receiver out. They've got 3 tight ends that can play about anywhere in the country. The leader will be 86 Strange, and that's a big job tonight. That offensive line against the athletic SEC-D.
Empty backfield, 5 receivers. It's a slant across the middle. Dotson, so dynamic with the football. First down out near midfield.
And that's really what Dotson, to me, is known for in his career, is getting in between, whether it's man, this time it's zone, just sitting down and then boom, putting his foot in the ground, getting yards after the catch.
Catch your breath, folks. It's going to be fast tonight. Kane off the left side. That's the kind of first down game Yurcich hopes for.
Yeah, and again, that's this. If you're a Penn State fan, you're thinking, wow, this is different from last year. They've gone back. One of the things that they felt they needed to do is James Franklin said, we got away from our identity last year. We got to go back to being a spread attacking offense.
Clifford with a downfield shot. Dotson could not fight back. He was well covered by Roger McCreary. Excellent corner for Auburn.
Derek Mason, the defensive coordinator from Auburn. He's a former head coach at Vanderbilt and is very familiar with what they're trying to do offensively. He feels confident that between Nehemiah Pritchett on one side, corner 18, and then Roger McCreary right there, he's got two corners he can leave on islands and can match up very favorably.
Now on third down, they'll slow down a bit. They need 5 to keep this opening possession going. Clifford bobbles the snap, gets pressure underneath Parker Washington, the slot receiver. Took too much time to get going and he stopped short of the marker. It's an early decision at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, he had to get rid of that ball quickly. He felt the pressure that time in the backside. Derek Hall.
And they're going for it. And Clifford sneaks it. It'll depend on the spot. Auburn thinks they've stopped him.
I think they might be right. I mean, that's just a pile of humanity, and I don't think he got close to that first down marker.
Not where the spot is, so they gamble a bit in this part of the field and hope with tempo they can catch the Tigers napping. Didn't work.
No, you got a lot of size in the interior, that defensive line. Tony Fair leading the way, about 330 pounds. Boy, would that be a big stop for Auburn in this game on the road in front of this crowd. See the effort in the interior, trying to get low. Linebackers shooting in, pinching as well.
Crowd booing the spot, but yeah, he didn't get there.
He
didn't look comfortable either in that spot.
That's one of the things about tempo. You try to go quick. It was really him and his center. Like the guards didn't get a good push themselves.
You know, I think James Franklin's having a conversation. I'm not sure the yard marker was accurately changed over to fourth down there. I think he knew it was fourth down, but there was a little bit of confusion on the field. And Auburn takes over now. Good field position. And all this noise. First taste of it for Nix tonight. Tank Bigsby to his right. It's Bigsby barreling into the middle of the Penn State defense. Stiff arm got him some space and a first down inside the 40.
Nick Brahms to center, had a really key block that time, climbing up to the second level, getting up to Brandon Smith. That opened it up, and you can see Tank Bigsby, he's not only just a big SEC back, he's got a burst to him. 210 pounds, but he will run by you, and that time he's aided by a terrific block by Nick Brahms in the middle.
That old bearded center. He's been around forever. With their first down carry, Bigsby tried to bounce it, could not escape the tackle of Jesse Luketa. Dynamic athlete who plays all over this Penn State defense.
Well, Luketa is a guy you love to watch. Last week he played a lot of the middle linebacker spot with Ellis Brooks, the starter, out for the first half. He bounces from defensive end to linebacker, and that time in the open field shows his athletic ability, coming up with a nice tackle.
One of 3 Canadians who make an impact in this Penn State roster. Luketa from Ottawa. Nick's looking to throw on 2nd and 10 down the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah.
And here comes a flag from this SEC crew. It was Joey Porter Jr., the long arm corner, defending on Shedrick Jackson.
And that time he used his left long arm to grab on and try to hold on to the receiver, Jackson, before he got by him. Good call by the officials. Watch his left arm. Inside move, gets the leverage, and there's the pull of the jersey.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. The ball was placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
James Carter in charge of the SEC crew tonight. That'll move the ball inside the Penn State 30.
Bo Nix is also kind of settling in these first couple of weeks. Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, his 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years as a starter. And of course, Brian Harsin is on a great offensive mind as a head coach. The big thing that they're again emphasizing to him is you don't have to do everything by yourself. Don't try to force anything. Play within the means of this offense and make good decisions.
Nix rolls and cannot escape. Luketa active, dropped him for a loss.
You are going to enjoy, if you're a defensive football fan, you're going to enjoy watching Luketa off that edge. Like I said, has versatility to play the middle linebacker spot or bounce down, and because of some injuries, he moved full-time to defensive end. Unless they get into a jam with an injury or a suspension like Ellis Brooks, for the most part, he'll be down on the edge of that defense.
Serious test for the Auburn offensive line. Harsin said that's the question most folks have asked him in the run-up to this game. How's the O-line look? We're going to find out. Nix, 2nd and 11, launches downfield to the end zone, over the head of Demetrius Robertson, the transfer from Georgia, who had 3 touchdowns in last week's win.
He had to get rid of that ball, and really before he wanted to. This is a talented secondary. They go 4 verticals. He goes to the right man, but you can see the adjustment there by Brisker. But Abakady, 17, look at that move. If these tackles are isolated, they better be careful at 17. He is sudden and he is powerful. He's a transfer from Temple, and he's making his presence felt here early.
Yeah, they think he can be an elite edge pass rusher. Need 11 on 3rd down. Nix in the boundary. That's Bigsby. Had a blocker, the tight end, but Penn State swarms and stops him right there. So 4th down, here comes the field goal team.
Penn State had got to be happy on 3rd down. They sat back in zone. Brent Pry said, let's keep our eyes on the ball. Let's keep everything in front of us. Rely on our front to get pressure. Ball got out fast. And boy, they rallied to the football.
After the big run by Bigsby, set him up, and the penalty moved the ball inside the 30. A 45-yard field goal attempt from Carlson, the senior from Colorado Springs. Older brother Daniel kicks for the Raiders. And it's a low line drive, but he drives it right through. So Auburn, short drive of 28 yards, draws first blood on Whiteout. 3-0. Well, folks in orange in the high-altitude seats are happy. Tigers an early field goal after the defense makes a stop on the quarterback sneak. 4th and 1, Penn State's first possession. Auburn folks turned out strong here. They're dotting all sections of the stadium with those.
Talking to Kirk Sampson of Auburn, he said this is the most anticipated non-conference ticket that he can ever remember since he's been down at Auburn.
This is John Lovett making his first action for the Nittany Lions this season, and the Baylor transfer is slammed down hard at the 20-yard line. We'll see him in the backfield. The Arby's running back spotlight. He talks about Noah Cain, hurt his foot a few plays into the season last year, worked hard to rehab, game-winning touchdown at Wisconsin, and look at the emotion after the game. Look at that hug. That's a mother who knows what it means to have her son back and healthy and scoring a big game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, what a story. Anytime you see a player fight back from injury, you have a new appreciation. I think I've seen him say that he has that. But great shot of him and his mom at Camp Randall after such a big win to start the season.
But for a design run, he is hammered for a loss. Quick penetration by Zacoby McClain, veteran linebacker, physical hitter, and Smoke Monday joined him.
Smoke Monday came off the edge. These linebackers on this misdirection doing a really good job early in this game of staying home. I think Penn State's thinking Auburn's going to be so geared up, they're going to be losing the edge, but they have not.
Screen, and Parker Washington couldn't come up with it, so it's another 3rd and long.
It was one of those plays that even if he caught it, it was not going to be good for Penn State. Auburn's defense keyed in right now on all their reads, flying to the football, doing a good job with their eyes on the ball. And the SEC prides itself on having tremendous speed on defense, and especially at the defensive line spot, especially on 3rd down. Let's see what happens here.
The 3rd down, a problem for Penn State in that Wisconsin game. Has been for a number of years, actually, here. Lippert from the pocket, tries to escape, does, scans downfield, tries to take off, will never get to the marker. Owen Papos saw to that, and it's 4th down.
One of the things that we talked about was a good job of adjusting to the scramble earlier by Lambert Smith. Now watch this in the back right. These receivers are all running together into the same area. Somebody's got to put his foot to the ground and work back. or give him a chance to have a target, but you've had 3 Navy jerseys all covered by 3 defenders, so he had nowhere to go with the football.
Jordan Stout does the place kicking and punting for Penn State, and he was a key part of that win at Wisconsin. He kept booming 60, 70-yarders. This one is pretty solid, and it drives Robertson back, trying to get the edge, gets a block, does turn the corner, nice return, scoots out near the 40-yard line, and now a very late flag. A couple of them come in as he was run into the Penn State bench. It's a 51-yard punt. Took it back 15 yards. See if we can see what happened at the end of the play here. There was no late hit or push out of bounds.
No, I think it was a
Possible
maybe a peel block.
Blindside block there?
A peel back block, yeah, by Tennyson. That's where the flag came in.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block against the return team. 50-yard penalty on the spot of the foul. First down.
It used to be legal.
Timeout.
The rule is different in college and the NFL, but this is an emphasis. Watch this. They want to keep the players who are unprotected, who don't have their eyes on the approaching blocker. Protect him. A 15-yard penalty will move the Tigers back. Second possession coming up. And a loss. He's hoping his son fares better tonight. Auburn field goal first possession. Takes over at the 21 after the penalty on the return. Keeper for Bo Nix. About a 2-yard gain, Kirk.
This is, show you this play, the punt return. This is what we're seeing now. You see the top 23? That's good blocking. That's like a screen. 13? Not so much. That's old school. Good? Bad.
Old school fans are saying, come on, that's football, Herb Street.
I'm just listening to Bill up here. He's telling me the rules.
Player safety is the idea. 2nd and 8. Lions defense crowding the line. Bigsby tries to get to the boundary, and he cannot. Short gain will set up 3rd and long. Brandon Smith knocked him down.
These linebackers can fly. The safety's very aggressive getting downhill. Take a look at that defensive line. We've talked about quite a few of them. Mustipher up front, the leader, 97. Ellis Brooks in the middle. I love these linebackers. Brandon Smith, 6'4", 250, runs a 4.4. And I've been talking about this all week. Maybe the most talented secondary that they have had in a long time, definitely under James Franklin.
I think it's their best ever here, frankly.
How about that?
3rd and 6. Nix from the pocket delivers a dart, and it's caught. Robertson has a first down. He paid the price, got knocked down and is holding that right shoulder.
Yeah, they just had enough time to get that football off before Ebiketie got in there to hit him. Safety jumped it. Brisker thought he had a chance to get to that football. There's the pressure. Nix feeling it, gets it out. And a good job of focusing and concentrating there by Robertson on the catch.
Tough start for Joey Porter, their talented corner there. 16 yards on 3rd and 6. Nix slings it out, and that time they're all over Robertson. Dropped for a loss by Jaquan Brisker, their preseason All-American safety.
Boy, that's a tape that you can use to coach how to play this. Watch one. Comes through the tight end's block, and in perfect wrap-up, bring him down for a loss. Textbook.
He got grabbed, they didn't care. He's going right through it.
And you're seeing more guys on the edge get a feel and a sense that those quick passes are coming, and they're accelerating through the potential block. But that was great technique and form that time by Brisker.
And Lions pointing across. You see this every wideout. The visitors' offensive line, you could almost count on a few false starts.
False start. Offense. Number 59. 5-yard penalty.
Remember, it's the first time in a hostile environment since the end of the 2019 season. And this is about as crazy as it gets.
Yeah, they're right in front of it. We asked Brian Harsin about 3rd downs or 2nd and long, about those offensive tackles out on islands. He talked about maybe making adjustments inside the game, maybe the guards holding hands with the tackles, but it's tough even to hear the clap.
Second and 16. Nix just lofts one. It's a rainmaker throw that's incomplete. It was Castro Fields in coverage on Jackson. 3rd and 16 coming up. Think about air under a throw.
Yeah, put it up, throw it as far as you can, and let your receiver try to run underneath it. But these are veteran corners. Castro Fields, after about the 15, 20-yard mark, he knows that's a deep ball. He starts to look for it, anticipating that ball is going to be showing up, and he was right. Put his body in perfect position.
Now Jackson was playing DB to prevent the interception. Here comes the noise. Lions rush 4. Nix flushed, running, long way to go. Pump fakes, doesn't fool Penn State, and he's going to be stopped at about the 45, 6 yards short. 4th down.
Bo Nix almost pulled the trigger. This has been an issue for him in the past on the road on 3rd downs, is trying to force the ball in, and he several times has thrown interceptions. This time, listening to the coaching, pull it down, live for the next day. It's okay to punt the football. We just don't want to throw interceptions. So a good decision by Bo Nix.
You think he could hear the coaching in his head as that play is unfolding?
They've been emphasizing that since spring ball.
Oscar Chapman from Adelaide in South Australia. Veteran punter for the Tigers. Boots it away. Always gets nice hang time. Dotson waves for a fair catch and makes it at the 11-yard line. Penn State's offense backed up. Goes back to work. Arnold Ebiketie slams him down right away. He's reaching for that right shoulder.
Yeah, and he came over to the sideline, and the trainer's getting underneath that shoulder pad, rubbing his shoulder. He still is walking, still looks like, you know, he's going to be involved, but something to keep an eye on. Throwing shoulder gets dinged like that on a takedown by the defensive end, Ebiketie.
Meanwhile, Clifford 4 for 6, but just 27 yards on those 4 completions. Kevon Lee takes his turn to the backfield. And the most physical Penn State back, bouncing off people. That's his running style. He picks up 10, got a nice block from the tight end. Brenton Strange, too.
Yeah, Strange came around, led him around, and safeties are coming up, hitting people. But it's a different feel from Noah Cain compared to what you get with Lee.
About 240 pounds, hammering the middle. Ball comes out. Tigers say it's a takeaway.
That ball, right, second carry. We talk about how powerful he is, but that ball is loose. Penn State fortunate to jump on top of it.
Jacoby McClain may have gotten a hand in there. Penn State has not turned the ball over in his first 2 games. This very nearly was the first of the season.
Yeah, Burke, looks like Marquise Burks, 92, did a good job of getting his right hand and knocking it away. You got a couple Auburn defenders. They're all over the ball, but somehow Penn State, ball came back. It looked like to Lee.
It's a 5-yard gain. 5-receiver look. Clifford zips it out quickly on the edge to Lambert. Smith patiently follows his blocks. First down out near the 40. Actually, they'll spot him at the 36.
And they motion and go to empty. You got 2 blockers out front. He gets behind the big tight end, Theo Johnson. And this is what Mike Yurcich wants to do. Not just a tempo. They want to stretch you horizontally, sideline to sideline, and make you be concerned about the edges. And then they want to take some shots. They want to get the ball thrown downfield vertically. So they want to stretch you both ways and then mix in the tempo and that power inside running game.
In his words, you got to defend 53 and a third, which is the width of the field. Didn't do that last year. They did not stretch things
not at all
horizontally at all.
Not much vertically either.
Play clock was winding down. Lions will spend a timeout. It's all about putting the defense under stress, and that's what they think this new offense under Yurcich can do. Let's check in with Kevin Negandhi in the studio for an update. Hey, Kevin. Kevin, thanks. Not what Clemson fans were hoping or expecting for. It's been a weird game, but the offense, we didn't see him click against Georgia, that's for sure. Not clicking tonight against Georgia Tech.
No, and I was watching that game early, and it looked like Georgia Tech came in with an idea of, hey, we're going to keep everything in front. We're going to sit back, no deep balls. Let's not let them hit explosive. Let's make them be patient. And I don't think Clemson's offensive line is really gelled yet. So, competitive game.
And fake it to John Levitt. Clifford across the middle, down the seam. It's caught. And they do use the tight end, Brenton Strange, one of 3 good young tight ends they have.
Linebackers come up on the play fake. See how they come up, they bite, creates a nice throwing window behind them. He throws it right in that lane for big yards.
It's a tough matchup for Papo. Great linebacker, but you don't want him in coverage against the tight end. Now they hit it down the seam. Another tight end. Theo Johnson and Penn State down near the goal line.
No, a bust in coverage. Smoke Monday and McCreary stay on one receiver. Nobody picked the tight end up. He gets into the inside seam. An easy read. Good job of locating that by Sean Clifford. And another big game for the Lions.
How much fun for a quarterback and a play caller to have athletic tight ends, a few of them, who can stress a defense out.
Yeah, he's got 3. 2 of them that really can get downfield. And that time, well, that was an easy read. Good job of just seeing it.
Johnson a touchdown last week. Another one of the Canadians. Kane back in the game on 1st and goal. Clifford looking to throw for it. Still scanning the field. And fires, end zone, touchdown, Jahan Dotson. What an electric drive for this Penn State offense. 88 yards, just gashing this defense for big chunks.
But it looked like Auburn had really settled in defensively, and Mike Yursich making a few adjustments, and they get the ability to throw the ball downfield. That last throw by Sean Clifford is really the growth that he has made as a quarterback with the patience and working through the progressions.
Stout adds the PAT. Took him about 2.5 minutes to go the length of the field, and the playmaker, Jahan Dotson, as Clifford was patient.
And I think Theo Johnson being on the front, they assumed they're going to throw a quick pass and jump the quick pass. Instead, he gets upfield, and he's all alone. And then this time it's Clifford patiently. Look at his head. He's looking all over the field. Full field reads, didn't give up on a play. Auburn miscommunicates on the back end. And Clifford's athletic ability, tough to cover a receiver for that long.
How do you lose Dotson, Kirk? There wasn't a Tiger within 10 yards of him back there.
Here's the progressive pylon cam. Yeah, there's nobody there. It's just, again, a couple mistakes, and Clifford capitalizes on both of them.
And Clifford, 4 for 4, 73 yards, and that touchdown. Hit the tight ends for 23 and 37 yards on that drive. Doesn't care if it's a day game or a night game. Clifford is going to bring the eye black. He's got strong game in that department. Nehemiah Pritchett is deep to receive the kickoff of Stout. All of his kickoffs this year so far have been touchbacks. And this one moving too as it lands out the end of the end zone. Kickoff here week 2, NFL Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern. Countdown on ESPN. They'll sit down with Saints quarterback Jameis Winston. All those Saints assistants in COVID protocol. And this week, Monday Night Football at Lambeau Field. The Packers and the Lions. Looking for a bounce back, that Green Bay offense. Wow.
R-E-L-A-X. Relax, right? Aaron Rodgers says, you're right. They'll be fine. I thought Dotson came close to that line before he caught the ball in the scramble drill, but I think he stayed in bounds. It was close.
Tigers with 43 total yards in their first 11 plays. And they hand it off to Jarquez Hunter, the talented true freshman out of Mississippi.
Let's take a really close look at Dotson to see. You'll see him work from the top crisp, and he'll work down. Right here. I don't see. He's inbounds all the way. So an eligible receiver and a touchdown for Penn State.
Hunter, by the way, had a 94-yard touchdown run last week. That's an Auburn record and the longest in the FBS this year by 5 yards. Very dynamic. They flip it to him in the flat, makes a man miss, and accelerates for a first down. Wow, is he a good-looking freshman?
He sure is, and a great compliment to Tank Bigsby. With Sean Shivers out, not here tonight, they'll rely even more on the freshman, the true freshman. This is where Bo Nix has to really assert himself as a veteran, a 3-year starter, 27th career start. He's used to being on the road in tough environments.
Old school I formation. Do a screen grab of this. You don't see this much anymore. Bigsby is the back. He's got it. Behind the block of Schenker, who lined up a fullback. Holly?
Well, guys, in this end of the field particularly, the noise is a factor for the Auburn team right now. I've seen Bo Nix have to get right up and whisper in people's ears. You've got to get so close to be able to communicate to them. I've got a decibel meter out. It was 102 at one point in this end of the field where most of the students are. And you can really feel the noise starting to impact this team and how they're communicating. To see Nix have to really get up in guys' ears to talk.
I want to ask Holly, 102, she's been in every stadium in the country. Is 102 really high, or is that pretty high?
It's pretty high. 117 is the loudest I've ever heard. That was in Death Valley, but Auburn practice had it up at 120 decibels on Wednesday while I was there. So they've been preparing for this moment, but we're still yet to peak out here.
Yeah, that's torture to be at a practice when they crank the speakers at 120 decibels. We'll see if we get near chainsaw or rock concert.
There you are at 120 there, Chris. you and Bear.
So my hearing's not what it used to be. 3rd and 2 here. Can Penn State get off the field, get their offense back? And the play clock was winding down, and the quarter runs out before they have to snap it. Some confusion for Nix. That is the end of one. Tigers scored first. Lions answer with a touchdown. End of one here. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Degrees here in Happy Valley. Goodyear providing coverage. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven. 3rd and 2 for the Tigers. Joey Porter, former NFL linebacker, played his college football at Colorado State. And there's Saquon, your guest picker this morning.
3rd down. Bo Nix's legs be a factor here. Penn State bringing a blitz.
They pick up the blitz. Complete to Schenker. First down. Tigers turn to use the tight end in Penn State territory.
Yeah, watch his head. He's going to look to the left, come back, and eventually hit the big tight end right here. They blitz. He knows he's got to get that ball out. Good job of just feeling that by Bo Nix and getting that ball out on time to the tight end who had leverage. And again, it's a guy, it's a veteran. It's a big drive for Auburn, even though it's early in this game.
The speedy Hunter back in the game, but they pitch it to Robinson on the end around. Lions saw that coming. That's a play they like to use. They were ready for it, and making the tackle is Brandon Smith.
When you go in motion like this, watch the communication and watch the adjustment by the Penn State defense right away. That is it, and you're going into the boundary, and you got those linebackers and safeties' attention by bringing the jet motion over. Instead of, I thought they might fake it because they got him out of position, but instead they hand it off, just nowhere to go.
Tigers behind the sticks on 2nd down. Pressure picked up again. Long throw sideline caught. Well, actually incomplete. Juggled it. He thought he had it. That was Jackson over there.
How about the risk there by Castro Fields? He jumps around, all-out blitz. Oh, he got a finger. Looks like he may have had a fingertip on that ball. And you can see that juggle. He's trying to get possession to get a foot down. I think Castro Fields just got a finger on that football, but never quite had possession before he went out of bounds. Good call by the official.
A good spot group. I think you're right. It was just enough to influence the receiver. Noisy again on 3rd and 12. From the pocket, Nix delivers a dart downfield. Caught. Off and running. is Hudson. Kobe Hudson, first down deep in Penn State territory.
They feel Hudson could be an answer for them this year. Look at this man coverage. Good job of throwing it away from Hardy. He never saw the ball. The back shoulder essentially a fade, even though it's not on the boundary. Look at Bo Nix step into that throw it away from the defender, and the young receiver adjusts perfectly to the football.
Great agility in the air. A guy don't move around outside the slot all over the place. Bigsby tests the middle. Nothing there.
You and I and anybody who follows Auburn football knows a question as Brian Harsin comes in is you got a quarterback that's a veteran. You got an offensive line. You got some running backs. Who are the receivers going to be? You lose your three best from a year ago, Anthony Schwartz in the NFL, Seth Williams, Eli Stove. These guys are gone. It's the next wave of receivers. We're going to find out tonight, this year, who are those receivers are going to be, and we got a little taste of what Kobe Hudson can do.
Tigers in the red zone where Penn State's defense has been stout the first two games. Bigsby runs through a tackle, lowers the shoulder, and is knocked down a yard short of the marker near the 3.
Well, Ellis Brooks gets in. He kind of sneaks through here, but he doesn't have a chance to get his shoulder. He's just kind of using his arm. You're not going to bring down Tank Bigsby by just getting a hand on him. He's going to run through that. He's so physical, especially down inside the 10.
Tigers employing some tempo in this 3rd and 1. Bigsby plows ahead. First down, touchdown, and Auburn takes the lead right into the teeth of that Penn State student section. Good answer, a 75-yard drive.
Great blocks by Luke Deal. Watch the right side. Watch Deal, 86, 47 Shanker, working, good push. And there's the physicality again by Tank Bigsby. The patience, the burst, and that low pad level. And a really good job by the right side of the offensive line.
Harsin and the Brain Trust thought they could run the ball in this Penn State defense because Wisconsin did have some success running the ball, especially in the first half. Clutch third down completion by Nix. He was strong in that drive, and Auburn answers Penn State's touchdown with one of their own. Good one here in Happy Valley, 10-7. 10 Commissioner Kevin Warren in attendance. So cool to have these two conferences with such rich history, so much pride together. You know, the last time Auburn played at a Big Ten campus?
1931.
You got it. Wisconsin. 1931.
I don't even think the SEC existed.
No, they didn't. Not yet. That's why this is so special. It's such a rarity. And to have two ranked teams from these two conferences. Again, just 11 times. Ford from the 4. And high kickoff allows the coverage team to get down there and grab him at the 20.
Take a peek at this last drive where Sean Clifford and Mike Yursich, the play caller, got things going. Starts with the inside run. So Kayvon Lee came in, and then they want to get the ball to the edge, stretch you to the outside, and then they want to take their vertical shots. A miscue in the back end of the secondary. Sean Clifford finds it, gets it to Theo Johnson, and then the athletic ability to keep the play alive, and then locating Dotson in the corner for Penn State's touchdowns. That was the last drive. Let's see what kind of adjustments Derek Mason and the Auburn Tiger defense make.
It's Dotson who comes in motion, goes back to the right, and they hand it off inside. Kane, ooh, a shoestring tackle prevented a big play. TJ Moultrie just got him.
That's the beauty of being able to rotate Lee and Kane to keep those fresh legs.
Trying to wear out that Auburn defense. They run tempo, and Kane makes a first down run to the 34.
Yep, well, that play was actually designed to get out to the outside to the right, but good feel and putting that right foot in the leg, sensing the cutback lane, and he hits it hard, gets north and south, and gets the first down yardage.
Kane's in the slot to the right, empty backfield. Pump fake. Clifford wanted to go downfield and now does launch, but no receiver in the zip code. Broke off the route early.
Yeah, just a miscommunication. You start going fast. See Parker Washington looking back at his quarterbacks. You know, sometimes you start to read coverage. You see a safety's bite, and you're going to take a shot. I think he was expecting Parker Washington to maybe have a little stutter and go. Instead, he settled. It's the man who brought this new offense in. He's been around. He'd go back to Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. Spent some time with Ohio State and Ryan Day, and last year he was at Texas.
Pennsylvania roots, though.
Offense, number 14. The passer was in the pocket. There was no receiver in the area.
Wow, you don't see an intentional
down.
grounding call on a pass
down.
thrown way downfield. Bill Lamagna, our rules expert, weigh in on this one. Let's get Bill's mic open.
Weeks ago, too. And the fact of the matter is, that's a blown route. I'm not sure the quarterback was even under duress either.
Yeah.
So if there's no duress,
It seems like it's more of a miscommunication,
I totally agree.
Bill, than anything. He doesn't have any pressure.
No, I think they should have passed on this totally. 1 for no pressure, 2 for the blown route.
It's a huge penalty mix at 2nd and 16. Clifford to Dotson. Very short game. He was closely watched by McCreary.
Third
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
A downfield shot, intentional grounding.
And Bill makes a great point. It wasn't as if he was feeling a lot of pressure and I got to hurry up and get rid of the ball. He had time. Just a miscommunication. But nonetheless, Auburn, after that touchdown drive, they make some adjustments and get Clifford and Penn State's offense off the field. So you see Auburn's offense have an answer, and now the defense with an answer of their own.
So that somewhat odd call messed things up.
Sure did.
We're having a conversation. Is it about the down? I don't. The initial signal was 4th down. Now the yard marker says 3rd
The correct
down.
down is 4th down.
There's been some confusion a couple of times with the down markers in the chain gang tonight. James Franklin was concerned. That's what the coaches look at when they make the play calls. Stout to kick it away. End over end kick. Robertson decides to just get away from it. That was going to be awkward to try to field. Another booming punt from Penn State's Jordan Stout. 58 yards. Tigers take over. Up 3. The pin back.
Cover a kickoff. And Brian Harsin may have caught a break there. I think Penn State was concerned about what just happened on the play sequence. I think they may have punted on 3rd down. I may go back and look at that.
Next pump fakes from the 3-yard line, delivers a strike again, and it's John Samuel Shanker. Big gain.
Well, it's the 2nd time in exact same location where Bo Nix has thrown that same ball. Earlier we saw Hudson make a great catch. This time the tight end Shanker does a really good job against the linebacker Brandon Smith. Location, same spot. You can tell this has been a big emphasis in this offense of working on that back shoulder. Great location again by Bo Nix.
Hunter, stutter steps, accelerates, rips off about 7 or 8 yards.
You know, that jet sweep action, all you use that for is when you don't hand it off is just to affect the eyes. Make a linebacker move 2 or 3 steps to the right. Helps those offensive linemen be able to climb up to that 2nd level, get a better blocking angle. It's a nice play designed by Brian Harsin and Mike Bobo there. Pick up positive yards on 1st and 10.
Going to be tough for Hunter to maintain his average of 15 yards per carry through 2 games, but he's showing his effectiveness as a big play back. Jackson, the catch in the flat, another 1st down.
It's an inside zone play, an RPO, where if he's got the numbers right on the outside, they'll just throw it to the outside. He's got a lead receiver, which turns into a blocker. Just get it out there quickly to Jackson and let Robertson pick up a nice block. It's just really an extension of the run game, and he recognizes that leverage with the receivers and gets it out there quickly.
3 plays, the Tigers have moved from back to their 11 out near the 43. Hunter lined up deep. It's a fake to Robertson. They want to throw it to him. Makes the catch. Hard hit. No gain. Once again, Brandon Smith delivers the blow.
Bo Nix heard this week a lot from Mike Bobo and Brian Harsin. Just be efficient. Don't do too much. Check the ball down. Don't force the throw. And right now, Brian Harsin, we're early in this game, 9 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. But he's got to be very proud of Bo Nix in this environment. Got down, kept his poise, 10 of 13, only 93 yards. Most importantly, not putting the ball where Penn State can make a play on it.
Hunter into heavy traffic. Not much there. They couldn't move P.J. Mustafa out of the way. The big 325-pound senior.
What a likable guy. You and I and Holly had a chance to sit down with him. Just one of those guys that I don't want to say typical Penn State, but every year I come to Penn State, we get a chance to sit with these players. I always marvel at how buttoned up they are. And Mustafa is that kind of guy. Just an engaging personality and a great leader on this defensive front.
I love when the big dudes have big personality.
Yeah, it's cool.
Heavy guys off the field. Penn State going to a pass rush scheme on 3rd and 8. Nix, well protected, rips it downfield. Tried to get the ball to another tight end, Tyler Fromm. No chance to make a play, 4th down.
You know, Brent Pry is going to be talking on these vertical seams. If you're running with a vertical seam, be on alert for that ball to be thrown to the outside where you can adjust back. There's Brent Pry, one of the best DCs in the country. That time it was actually thrown out in front of Tyler Fromm, but no chance for the completion.
Total continuity on the defensive side. Brett Pry's been here throughout. James Franklin say the offensive, that's been a revolving door. 5 different offensive coordinators.
Yeah, that's true.
But Pry has been the constant. Chapman spins it high. Dotson again makes a fair catch. And once again, Tigers winning the ball game and winning the field position battle. Lions will begin at the 9.
And then James Franklin's trying to figure out, it's 3rd down. It's 3rd down.
We all thought it was 3rd down. They went with the marker. They punted on 3rd down.
3rd and 11, but they were told it was 4th down.
It's hard enough to move the ball in an Auburn defense when you got to punt on 3rd down.
Yeah.
It's not Canadian ball. Wow. Kane picks his way. Oh, Papa wouldn't let him go. Here's in the break. They couldn't really get about it at that point. Replay can get involved and stop things in the moment. Say, wait a second, no, let's correct things. But once they sent the punt team out and punted, it was too late.
Yeah, it was over. But I think he's saying what you said, Chris. Hey, it's hard enough to move the ball on these guys, man. Give us our downs.
The first zips it short. Dotson makes the catch, tackled immediately by Papo in coverage. Now it'll be 3rd down. We're sure of that. And short. Holly?
Well, Penn State's James Franklin was emphatic during that last commercial. He spent the entire time really getting on the referees that they were wrong on that last plays where they lost it down. He knows he's right. He's trying to get the referees to change that, but they won't, obviously. He was so upset, and he kept saying, I know, but I'm right.
What are they going to do now, Holly? I mean, it's 2 series later.
He just knows he's right. That's what I'm saying, Chris.
Well, tell him he's right if that makes him feel better, but it's too late.
Holly, I'll tell you, now they might have tried to have a makeup. He looked like he was a yard short of the 1st down, and they're moving the sticks as you were talking.
What is going on?
Holly, honestly, he's a yard short, and they moved the sticks.
James
I don't know, Bill.
Can we get a 5th down if we need it here in another possession? Can we bank that other one?
Watch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not close to the 1st down.
No.
And right away,
the ball short.
Yeah.
I think that.
Look up top. I mean, he spots it. He's about a half yard to a yard short.
Wow. So there's some confusion here. It's a challenging environment apparently for the officials from the SEC tonight so far. I mean, that's where they get involved in the spot, Bill, right when it involves a 1st down play.
Yeah, they have the right to get involved with a play that results in a 1st down or short of a 1st down. The thing I'm disappointed at officiating, you have 8 officials out there. We all keep the downs, too. And I would have really liked to see whether replay gets involved or not. I would have liked to see somebody come in and say, hey, there's confusion here. We need to talk about this. We need to straighten it out. So I wish that would have happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In the meantime, they're sorting out the spot here. We think they're going to overturn it and make it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 3rd and probably about a half a yard.
Talked about Bo Nix, 10 for 14. No mistakes. Clifford really hasn't made a mistake either, Kirk. He's 10 for 12. And a touchdown to Dotson.
And both coming into the game, everybody pretty much pointing to them because they made a lot of mistakes last year.
The runner was short of the line of game. The ball will be placed at the 18.5-yard line where it will be 3rd down.
Yeah, the receiver was tackled short. And so it'll be An important 3rd and 1, because after all the confusion, Auburn's starting to flex a little bit, and they're winning this field position battle. Penn State's 1 touchdown drive was a lightning strike. They moved it down quickly. 88 yards, less than 2.5 minutes. Kane lined up very deep. Clifford goes 220 pounds. Tried to sneak it earlier on 4th and 1. That didn't work. Deep handoff to Kane. And easy first down.
It is a battle tonight with that Penn State offensive line against the Auburn D-line. Derek Mason rotating bodies, try to stay fresh and athletic to try to challenge Penn State. And Penn State trying to wear them down with a lot of the up-tempo.
Phil Troutwine's the offensive line coach for the Lions. He won a national championship with the Gators and Urban Meyer. He likes his unit. Play action. And on 1st down, Clifford wants to throw downfield. Loops it over the head. No, not over the head. Dotson somehow climbs the ladder and makes a catch. I thought he had no chance when the ball was in the air.
Yeah, he's here and he's going to work on a levels concept. You need a lot of time from the offensive line. I mean, look at the protection. He goes up and over. What a catch. I mean, what a catch. Gets the right hand up. That's what he's done. Started last year when we were here for Ohio State against Sean Wade. That's what he's known for.
5'11" with a serious catch radius. Kane eluded some pressure in the backfield, moves forward for 3.
You know, a great receiver like that, it's body control, it's ball skills. It's just very natural for him to go up and make a catch. There's some receivers in the country that are great, but they have to work drill after drill after drill. And Dotson just kind of has that feel where he's just really natural with his ball skills.
Huge development when he decided to come back this season. It was a very deep receiver class for the draft. He thought, I'll come back, have one more big season, and maybe move up. Dotson can throw the football. It's a backward pass. Loops it out. Catch made by the tight end, Warren. What can he do?
Well, you can tell the way he went in motion behind the line that he's going to try to throw the ball. And Auburn's defense, especially after the last catch, watch how quickly they react. They come up to make a tackle because 5 gets the ball. They're all trying to lock in on him. Nice play call and a nice wrinkle there by Mike Yursich, the play caller.
See some wrinkles tonight, trying to execute against this speedy, instinctive Auburn defense. Penn State from the 30, empty backfield. Clifford rolls out and airmails it. That one, not even Dotson could get near.
Tyler Warren is the 3rd tight end. He's in line. You get a nice block in front by Strange in case somebody comes. But Dotson, he really didn't even have time to sell it because it was back into the boundary. It was more of catch it like a shortstop, turn 2. Get the ball off and up in the air with a big fella, Tyler Warren, who's got a tremendous upside as a freshman at 6'6", 252.
Trips left in the 2nd and 10 play. Clifford again, well protected. Dotson underneath, ducks down, 3 yards short of the marker. Owen Papa's been back in coverage a lot tonight, the linebacker.
Yeah, they're sitting back in zone more than I thought they might, just trying to keep things in front of them. And seen a lot of these crossing routes, a lot of mesh where you're bringing a receiver from one side to the other and another receiver on the other side. They kind of cross underneath, gives Clifford a chance to pick one or the other. And in zone that time, it was pretty easy to make that read.
Derek Mason playing a lot of coverage tonight. They really have not heated up the blitz package against Clifford so far. Need 3 on this 3rd down. Has time, delivers a strike. Washington, 1st down inside the 15. Good accuracy.
Well, that time they used that scissors. Again, that mesh caught the attention of the Auburn defense. Their eyes were so locked up when those 2 receivers crossing that they lost eyes on Parker Washington, who got a little bit further to the left, a little bit further to the outside, and Clifford again, and just in sync, makes a good throw.
2-back look, Devin Ford joining Kane. Washington comes from Texas. He was excited to play against the SEC for the first time in his career, show what he can do. Auburn defensive timeout. It was not Franklin calling timeout as the play clock was winding down. Penn State threatening. 3:53 before halftime. Sweet Carolina in the third quarter, living on a prayer. I mean, there's 100,000 people singing along. Awesome.
That's the thing that's so unique. It's the choreography of the whole thing at the whiteout. Not just how loud it is. So organized.
Penn State with the first down. They fake it to Kane. Dotson goes up and collects it and ducks down. That's been very, very hard to defend. They've gotten the ball to him in space a lot in this first half.
Yeah, you see this more and more in college football where you fake a handoff, you kind of roll the other way, and you bring that receiver, whether it's a tight end or receiver from the other side, he just gets lost in traffic. It's tough for the defense to find him. And Clifford has started 4 of 6 for only 27 yards, but since then, 10 of 11 now for 127 yards and a touchdown.
3 tight end look for Penn State now. Kane to the backfield on 2nd and 4. Try to play smash mouth. A lot of big bodies lined up near the line of scrimmage. Kane stopped at the 5. It'll be 3rd and about 1.5 yards.
I mean, how good is that? Big 10 versus SEC. Yep. Good 13 personnel, old school, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. Auburn with those big defensive linemen and talented linebackers. They know what's coming. You're inside the 10-yard line. Good against good. Who's the better man? Who's going to win?
Big play. And the Tigers force a field goal attempt. 3rd and 2. Kane drives, muscles, twists, and is stopped just short of the goal line, but it'll be first down.
Gets behind, Scruggs the right guard who pulled around. It's not a bad idea. 70 pulls around, big body, just kind of hide behind him. Auburn trying to get upfield with Marquise Burks. A good vision and a good feel there by Noah Kane on that inside run.
Kane again, met in the backfield. Quick penetration by Colby Wooden. It's a loss.
You're exactly right. Right here, watch him be able to work. You're trying to shoot a gap, and he does. That time Scruggs pulled again, but underestimated the suddenness of Wooden, who's a defensive end who's moved inside at 280 pounds. He lives in there because of how he uses his speed.
Most improved guy, they said, between spring and now. Tigers not going to make this easy for Penn State. Still a power formation. They fake it to Kane, flip it in the flat. That's easy. Touchdown, Brenton Strange. And Penn State reclaims the lead. Two really long drives against this Auburn defense. Touchdown drives of 88. And Kirk, that one was 91 yards and 14 plays, almost 7 minutes.
Really impressive. Love the call on 2nd down instead of waiting till 3rd down potentially. Get that defense thinking still potential run.
I really thought that both offenses were going to need shock plays to have a chance. He just snuck that through. Stout did. He had missed one against Wisconsin, but the lead is 4.
And you've got the big tight end Theo Johnson in line right here. And Strange is right here. Look at the defense and watch how you just have some confusion. Trying to stay on the same page. Not everybody's able to do that. Just sneak him outside. No communication on picking up that tight end. Hard to lose him. It's 6'6", 256 pounds.
We used to cover Notre Dame last year. You and I both share a love of these multiple tight end sets and how much stress it put to defense. I mean, you have athletic guys that can line up out there.
The versatility, and you don't see it a lot. Here's a progressive pylon cam with a really good shot. And look at Sean Clifford. You said he's one of the most confident quarterbacks. He told you, hey, I believe in myself. I believe in this offense. We're seeing that tonight. But I think, Chris, your point is right. The versatility and the fact you just don't see one back, 3 tight ends very much as you prepare a defense for a schedule. And I think more and more offenses are going to that look as a changeup.
And these guys can block, but all 3 of those Penn State tight ends can get out in space, get downfield. They've got good ball skills.
We've seen all 3 tonight do that.
Dotson, by the way, 4 receptions on the drive, and also completed that pass for 22 yards. And number 5, heavily involved in this first half. Another touchback. So the Tigers have minute 23 to work with and 2 timeouts. But let's go to the Bears' den. It's time for Bear to test us.
It's been a while, obviously, since Penn State has beaten an SEC team. For tonight's Aflac Trivia question, I want to know, who was the Penn State quarterback the last time the Nittany Lions beat an SEC team?
Wow.
Yeah, they don't play them regularly. They had a couple games against Alabama, but those were not wins.
Didn't go well, yeah. I mean, you're going away.
Don't tell me it's like Todd Black.
I was going to say, you're going back to Ledge?
I mean, that was a worthy win.
No, it's probably a bowl game, like a Michael Robinson.
Oh, if we're going bowl games, yeah. Wally Richardson beat Auburn, but that was the most recent meeting with these 2 teams. Against Schenker, makes the catch, takes a shot, but holds on. How risky will they get here?
Well, I think with Bo Nix and a veteran guy, you're going to at least try to get into field goal range. You got a great kicker in Carlson, and you got a veteran quarterback, so you definitely want to give him a chance.
Yeah, Carlson can kick it from well beyond 50 yards. Oh! Juggled and almost intercepted. Stepping in front was Brandon Smith. He had the end zone in his eyes, but he couldn't grab the football.
Yeah, he baited him there, sitting in zone, and then jumped the route. That was almost watch 12. Just sits there, anticipates, jumps it, and all he forgot to do.
It's a quadruple juggle.
Yeah, just catch the ball. That's the first mistake Bo Nix has made. Maybe feeling that urgency to make a play, locked in, telegraphs to throw, and which allowed Brandon Smith to jump in front of it. And if he holds on to it, he walks to the end zone.
That could have been a game-changing moment. Smith couldn't make the play. Deep breath for Auburn fans. They throw it downfield off the hands of Jackson. So they did trust their veteran quarterback. It almost cost them. Now they'll punt the ball back to Penn State with 55 seconds.
Yeah, but this is a great throw by Bo Nix. He bounces right back, and he actually has Jackson a little stutter and go, and he just loses his balance. If he doesn't lose his balance, he gets behind Castro Fields for a big game.
That shows the trust. They're willing to go right back and let him chuck it downfield after nearly a pick 6, but really should have been a pick 6. Dotson trying to make a play as a punt returner if Chapman lets him. Very high boot. And again, too high for a return. Dotson retreats at the 21. Okay, Bear. This was a tricky question. I guess we had to go to the bowl history of Penn State versus the SEC.
You did need to go to bowl history for tonight's Aflac Trivia question answer. The answer is Darrell Clark, 2010 Capital One Bowl versus LSU. So you were right in that Michael Robinson kind of area, but you just missed Darrell Clark.
Darrell Clark.
I saw him last night.
But remember, they lost to Iowa on the road. They were having a great year, and they got upset. Seems like everybody in November gets upset at Kinnick. But that was a great Penn State team that year.
Yeah, Darrell's in the building. He was at the high school game last night, the State College Little Lions.
Oh, you went over there.
I did. From a school district.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Big win over Chambersburg, Kurt. Friday Night Lights.
Penn State 47 seconds, 2 timeouts. They're taking points themselves now.
Clifford steps up, and he's got a lot of room to run. Needs a block downfield, gets one, gallops to the 41. 39 seconds. This could change the philosophy right now.
Well, when you play man-to-man, you better be careful because Clifford has the athletic ability to take off. Nobody's there to account for him. And once the defensive line isn't able to bring him down, Clifford has the wheels that can pick up not just 5 or 10 yards. He's going downfield. He's got them all the way to the 40.
They got 20 yards there. He's a guy with more than 800 career rushing yards. So that is part of his skill set. Nittany Lions still a pair of timeouts. Clifford steps up, throws underneath. Washington makes a man miss. First down in Auburn territory. They'll stop the clock momentarily.
You rush 3, you drop 8. You want the ball to be completed in front of you, but you don't want to give up that first down where they stop the clock.
Yeah, so far, Franklin not using a timeout on first down. Clifford look downfield, launches, and right into traffic. It's going to be picked off inside the 5-yard line by Roger McCreary as he makes his first mistake of the half, and he got rocked by Zacoby McClain, slow to get up.
Well, this time they did have the spy on him, and instead of waiting, he takes off. Watch the linebacker right here in the middle. Very similar concept, rushing 3. This time they spy him, and that time you see McClain get to him, affects the throw, actually made that ball kind of sail on him. Not only takes the big hit, but can't get anything on the throw. Pretty easy for McCreary, almost like a fair catch.
If there's one dude you do not want to get hit by in this defense, it's Zacoby McClain.
Yep.
He just lives to do that, and you could see the grimace. Clifford was walked to the sideline, escorted by some athletic trainers. Penn State's first turnover of the season ends that threat, and Nix's kneel down will end the first half. Auburn with 160 total yards. Penn State 264.
Auburn, remember, gets the ball to start that second half.
Nix very nearly a costly pick 6, but the Auburn defense makes a play to take the ball away and keep the margin at 4. Down to Holly with James Franklin.
Well, Coach, how do you describe the way your quarterback is managing this game so well, standing in there taking hard hit after hard hit?
Yeah, he's doing a nice job. He's shown that his entire career. I'm really proud of him. Obviously, there at the end, you prefer not because we were moving the ball, but overall, we're playing good complementary football.
Controversial play there with the loss of down. What explanation did you get from the officials on that play? That's the explanation we needed.
Thank you.
Yes.
That sums it up right there.
Next topic. Didn't hurt Penn State that much as they go to the locker room with a 4-point lead. Dish halftime report coming up right after these messages. Kevin and Booger. Auburn, the Tigers team trying to reshape its identity. They've struggled away from Jordan Hare the last 5 years. They've won just 13 out of the last 30 games. Withstood the initial energy, or what do they have to do to get back in this and turn it around?
Tank Bigsby. I think we've been focused so much on Bo Nix. Tank's averaging about over 5 yards a carry. They came into this game thinking about balance and thinking about it all starts with our run game to set up every other aspect. So this game's all going to come down to adjustments. You rely on your assistants, your coordinators to come up with some good ideas. If I'm Auburn, they get the ball to start this second half. I'm trying to get ways to get number 4 the football and get him to that second level of this Penn State defense. Bigsby
Averaged 5.1 on his 8 rushes in the first half. A couple of very long, methodical, I shouldn't say methodical, they were a lot of plays, but not a lot of time. Penn State touchdown drives. And you got a flag. Looks like the Lions are a little eager offside on the kickoff. Chance to check in with Holly.
Brian Harsin was very optimistic that this drive they could go right down the field and get this score back in their favor. He said, we've got to recommit to the run. We did a good job of it early in that game, and then we didn't go back to it. So look for more of that right now on this drive. And then defensively, Penn State has hurt them with the tight ends. He said, we've just gotten outflanked. Guys have got to stay in their correct positions, and that will fix itself. He said, we've also made some adjustments to the tempo they're running. Formationally, they've hurt them a little bit.
Sounds like Harsin's message to Mike Bobo, the play caller, about what you thought.
Exactly. That's exactly what we just talked about. And now this crowd, this second half, this crowd will come alive.
5-yard penalty. First down.
They just add the 5-yard penalty onto the touchback yardage. So Auburn will begin at the 30-yard line. Opposite end from these wild students who've been, I think they've been here like since about 4 o'clock and on their feet throughout. Bigsby is in the backfield. It's a Hudson rolled out. He wanted to throw the ball. Drops it. Penn State's got it. Oh, my goodness. Attempted trickery ends in disaster. Derek Tangelo recovered the fumble.
Well, they faked to Bigsby, and they do try to come up with this wrinkle, but first play, Hudson, a guy who's inexperienced, gets his hands on the ball. He's looking to throw the ball out to his right. It's covered, pulls it down. He's got, actually, Chris, a lot of room on the backside to run, but he's holding it like a breadbasket, loses control of the football. Penn State jumps on top of it.
My goodness, just the second Tigers turnover on the young season. It sets up Clifford and Penn State at the 20, trying to build on this 4-point lead.
Hudson, a talented, just inexperienced player trying to make a play, and it backfires on him.
You put the ball in the hands of guys, ask them to do something unfamiliar. Stuff can happen like that. Kane, nowhere to run, and has to fight to get back for just a 2-yard loss. Marcus Harris pushed the pile backwards.
That's a good push in the middle. Again, this is a talented defensive line. Harris, a Kansas transfer, right in the middle at the nose. Boy, he just does a good job of working around Miranda, disrupting the timing of that play.
Clifford zips it into a slant, caught. Dodson down at the 5-yard line. On target throw, but a sticky-handed catch.
Yeah, the linebacker's out of position. Papo just trying to read the eyes. He was out of position because of the ball fake. Really good, hard fake that time by Clifford riding Kane. It affected those linebackers. And then Dodson again using those hands to bring that ball in.
Going to be one of the impact receivers in college football all season long. Two-back look. Ford and Kane. It's Kane. Barreling down to the 2. And Penn State quickly turned this takeaway into a touchdown and stretch it to a double-digit lead.
And here come the tight ends. The big, heavy package. Theo Johnson, Tyler Warren come in, going with the big 3 tight ends. Extra offensive lineman, 72. Effner comes in.
Tigers went on a man late.
Clifford's up top.
Yeah, Clifford now the motion in. Tyler Warren, it's the tight end in wildcat position. He's got the snap, and he dives for a touchdown. So the Tigers' attempted trick play results in a turnover. Penn State with a goal line wrinkle. Touchdown, Tyler Warren.
And Tyler Warren, who is a great athlete, played basketball. He's a high school football player, familiar with being able to work through here. Going back to his high school days, gets behind the guard, Eric Wilson, who's a Harvard transfer. Played a lot of football at Harvard and leads the way that time. How about the big man using the basketball background, that vertical, to go up and over?
I tell you, this is a really good group of tight ends. 2 sophomores and a freshman. They're going to be a factor for a few years around here. Well, now the hole for Auburn is 11 points. They did not run Bigsby. They tried a little trickery here, and a receiver, not used to throwing a ball, tries to run with it, drops it. Lions fall on it. 4 plays, 20 yards later. Here's the Wildcat leap by the tight end. A real challenge now for this Auburn offense. Down 21-10. So Auburn gets the football back. 2 minutes into the second half. Penn State has stretched the lead to 11. The fumble recovery. Wildcat leap by Tyler Warren. But there is some concern to the Penn State sideline, Holly.
That's right. Their quarterback, Sean Clifford, took a hard hit just before halftime, and he came up holding his right elbow, his throwing arm. He's come back out of the locker room after halftime with a heavy padding on that right elbow and a heavy sleeve on. Let's see how it impacts him on the long throws here in the second half. Something for you to keep your eye on, guys.
Moments ago, you stepped in that tent to be checked out by the athletic trainers. But it's Penn State's defense back on the field, and now here comes the volume again.
Again, let's see how Bo Nix and his offense can answer.
Jarquez Hunter's got it. And unable to escape, knocked down at the 35, right near the marker. He's one of those guys that when he's got the football, antennas go up. He's so electric. He can score from anywhere out there.
Yeah, I like actually that formation they came up with. It's an unusual formation where they put a couple receivers and brought them back the other way, affected the linebackers and their read keys, gave them a nice running lane.
Now they give it to Bigsby, who tries to bounce it and gets the edge about 4 yards before Laquetta knocked him down. There's Clifford out of the tent.
Yeah, he looks good and feeling good, but it's something definitely to keep an eye on. Penn State against Wisconsin, they ended up winning that game. Their defense, especially in the red zone, came up with some critical plays that helped them secure that win. But Wisconsin, they are Wisconsin. They ran the ball. They found some creases. And that's something I think Auburn was hoping Tank Bigsby could be able to do tonight too.
Nix zips it out. Hudson knocked down there trying to atone for that mistake. He was really suffering on the sideline after that fumble moments ago.
Good for Auburn going right back to a young player who had a miscue. It cost his team some points, but they go right back to him and get him back into that zone. He's made some good plays tonight.
Playing with tempo. Bigsby, short gain up the middle. Laquetta again with the stop.
These linebackers from Penn State, they don't wait to get a feel. They are attacking. Ball is snapped, and they are flying downhill. And it's great that they're aggressive. They want to push the line of scrimmage back with their D-line and backers. And I know Bo Nix and Mike Bobo, they want to try to find opportunities to try to make them pay for that with glance routes and routes behind those backers in front of the safeties.
Nix keeps it, pulled it out of the hands of Bigsby and darts into Penn State territory, just short of the mark. It'll be third down.
Nix is a really athletic guy that is more than capable of pulling it and running. We talked a lot about Clifford's ability as an athlete. Bo Nix at 6'3", 214 pounds. Not just his ability to create as a passer, but design runs, whether zone read or just quarterback keep.
Penn State's big bodies in there on 3rd and 2.
Look at Ellis Brooks trying to communicate, get everybody on the same page.
Nix rolls and delivers a low throw. Caught by Johnson, just enough for the first down.
He had a nice opportunity with such a cushion. See Brown, 16, has to work way through traffic. And he's so far back. He's 10 yards back on 3rd and short. Easy throw that time for Bo Nix. Made it a little interesting, but he gets it out there for the first down.
Bigsby through the middle, barrels ahead, and that's what we're talking about at halftime. That downhill running of number 4, who's 208 but runs like he's bigger than that.
He is. And watch the center again. He's able to climb up to those backers. I talked about getting downhill along with the safety Brisker. He's able to come up with a nice block. So once he's able, look at that body lean. He's running with his pads down, getting behind his pads. But a good job again of following Nick Brahms, getting up to that backer, Ellis Brooks.
Bigsby again, first down. He's one of those really intense, hyper-competitive guys. There are team jokesters, not this guy. He is all business around the football building all the time.
Yeah, and I love that about him as a back, and he's only a sophomore, and I love that approach from him. It's important to be that way because he needs to understand not just how to run the ball, but to understand every aspect of this offense. And when they start getting things going to the inside, you're going to start seeing them work the perimeter and also play action. Can open up, get those safeties down, you can get behind them.
They feed Bigsby again. Oh, bouncing off people. Finally knocked down over there by Brisker.
Love Joey Porter's willingness here. Brent Pryce, defensive coordinator, says our corners have to be dogs, meaning they have to be willing tacklers. That's a tough ask out of Joey Porter. 6'2", 192. You got to get low, man, because here comes the tank. He's looking to run you over, and love to see corners in college football that aren't just worried about covering people, but have a willingness to come up and be a tackler.
Sean Shivers out for Auburn for his 2nd consecutive game, so it's just Bigsby and Hunter tonight sharing the heavy workload. Nix from the pocket, checks it down and flips it. Hunter is tackled short of the marker there.
Boy, if I love that he's trying to make a play, But first of all, Bo Nix smart to check this down right in front of the backers. But as soon as the young freshman gets it, get up, right there. As soon as he catches it, lower your shoulder and try to get to that first down marker. Once he bounced and brought it back, no chance of getting up to that first down.
But again, it's 3rd and short. Tigers respectable 4 for 9 tonight. Nix has had a couple of completions on 3rd and long. Hunter, another hard hit delivered by Brisker, but it's another first down.
That right side just kind of caved in. The defense, watch him push him down. The tight end's able to take Brandon Smith out. You're right, big collision that time by Brisker. You notice these safeties are almost becoming linebackers. They're starting to really lock in on that backfield. Again, Mike Bobo, Brian Harsin, they're going to see that. That's where play action can come in to really hurt Penn State when they get too aggressive.
12th play of this drive. Hunter, not much there. Isaiah Izzard, one of the backup tackles, in on the stop.
You and I talked like, what does Auburn need to do to start the second half? Holly talked with the coaches. We all were in. It was unanimous. We all thought about, man, let's get back to seeing them run the ball, establish that line of scrimmage. Little razzle-dazzle on the first play, the second half backfired on them. But since then, it's been a lot of trying to win the line of scrimmage and run the football with both Bigsby and Hunter.
Yep, a grinding approach on this drive. Hunter, or Bigsby, excuse me, back in the game, cuts it back. It's going to be yet another 3rd and short. This is one way you counteract the crowd noise and operate efficiently on 3rd down. You just need 1 or 2 yards.
Listen right now.
Yeah.
Listen. I mean, they're right in the loudest part of this stadium, and it's not a factor. It's going to get louder as the ball gets ready to be snapped, but when you have a long, methodical 13-play drive and you're running the ball, you can take a lot of the energy out of the stadium.
Best thing you can do on the road, grind it out on the ground. Bigsby gets the edge, gets the first and goal before Porter forced him out.
Boy, what a cut. Ellis Brooks blitzes from the middle. Once he blitzes in here, this play's here. Nope, we're going to cut it back. Good feel right there. See that hole? That's where 13 was where Bigsby was going to go. That tells you he's not just a bulldozer. He's not just lowering his shoulder and running. He's got great patience and vision to go along with the physicality and the burst. Complete back.
Schenker motions back, I formation. Toss sweep, Bigsby running downhill, reaching for the goal line. Touchdown, Tigers. A drive that Bo Jackson and Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams would have appreciated. The great tailbacks that have run the football. It was Bigsby this time.
Great block by 86. Luke Deal right here on this crack block. Nice job of Lucetta. You're pulling. It's like a Penn and pole. It's got a couple guys out in front. Progressive pylon cam. What a drive by Auburn. 15 plays, 75 yards, over 7 minutes on the road after that disastrous sequence of events with the turnover and the touchdown by the Lions.
It's like they felt the urgency going down 11 and knew the way to quiet the crowd and get back in this was to go old school Auburn. Carlson with the PAT. 8 carries by Bigsby in that drive, including the last 6 for a touch.
What if a bank treated its biggest mortgage the same way
15-play, 75-yard drive based on the ground. As you said, almost 7.5 minutes, and the lead is down to 4.
Of those 15 plays, if you're an Auburn fan, you'll like to hear this. 12 of them on the ground. 12 for 59 yards.
And Bigsby with 38 of those 59 rushing yards. And touchback. So let's take a look at tonight's Modelo fighting spirit moment, Kurt.
Well, Sean Clifford has had a good night, and he's found number 5. We knew coming in he would be a key target. He has been for the last couple years. Jahan Dotson, and they've used him different ways. Downfield on a levels concept here where they got it to him quickly, and he ends up throwing the football to Tyler Warren, and then he stays in bounds on that scramble and early touchdown for Penn State. Already tonight, Eight catches on a night for 75 yards.
See what he did against Wisconsin, had the deep ball. Yeah, when you target him 10 times and complete 8, that's great efficiency against a defense like this. John Lovett, Taylor transfer in the game. He'll become a bigger and bigger part of this offense as the season goes on. He got 6 yards.
Get used to seeing number 10. Now that he's good to go, they're very deep in the backfield with Kane, Lee, and Ford, and you see more Lovett.
Completion to Lambert Smith. Disciplinary suspension kept him out the first couple of games, but yet another playmaker now for Clifford to work with.
Mike Yursich just continues to give them wrinkles and different looks, trips into the boundary. Auburn trying a little confused, trying to adjust to it. They go with a quick throw.
Clifford backpedaling, avoids the pressure and delivers a throw sliding. It's up by Parker Washington. He's got it for a first down.
Boy, I love the poise of Clifford. Boy, he's got to just love this offense. Last year was a lot of run-pass option. Now they're just giving him a lot more freedom. You can see how dangerous he is. Great focus and concentration by Parker Washington, and a good throw again by Clifford, putting it low and away where 3 could go down and make that catch.
Said it at the top, Kirk, both quarterbacks tonight just loving the change in offensive system, feeling so much more comfortable. They both had to adapt a lot in their careers to different schemes and voices in their ear. On play action, it's a long throw. Washington turned back into the defender. Long throw to gain 5 and first down. Pritchett delivered the shot.
It's a long throw from the right hash on a quick out. And the worst place you want to throw that is back to the inside towards the defender. It's either an interception or a big hit on the receiver, and Pritchett made him pay for that.
Parker might say, can you deliver that over the other shoulder? Give me a chance to protect myself.
Towards the sideline.
Here's Washington, another catch, and they are all over him. Smoke Monday smoked him for a loss.
Smoke Monday, the leader of the secondary, and he's seen a lot of these quick throws. And anytime you see a stacked receiver behind a tight end, again, these guys now in college football, they're anticipating those quick throws. And Smoke Monday's a physical guy, hard worker, good size, gets off the potential block by Theo Johnson and makes a play for a loss.
Penn State needs 6 in this third down. Washington coming in motion. Dotson's over to the right. Clifford looking that direction, delivers underneath. Catch made, fighting near the marker, but tackled short is Washington. Wooten stopped him there. It's 4th down. Decision for Franklin.
Boy, what a battle there right at the first down marker. The leader, Chandler Wooten, they call him the Godfather, does a good job, but a half-yard short of that first down.
You saw the frustration from Yursich.
Well, he wants to see that receiver get another yard or 2 deeper on that route, just in case you're going to get hit. Uh-oh.
Wait a second. It's a fake, and they're stuffed. They don't make it the first time. Second effort, they're trying to shove the pile across the marker. A rugby play. Now, when do they blow the whistle? Where do they spot it? Lions say they have it, not so sure.
I think that's Big Mustapher coming in. The defensive tackle comes in as the up back. And that second effort, Chris.
No, they did not get it where they spotted the ball.
It's going to be, it just depends on where the spot is and where the whistle blew.
Now they can review this spot. It's tough to overturn the call on the field. You got to have clear evidence. Let's hear when the whistle blew, though.
Ooh, big fella.
Wait a second. The whistle blew way after Mustard had muscled across the line. Let's bring in Bill Lamagna here.
The effort, though, by the big fella. Look at it. He's got
7 guys grabbing.
5 guys on top of him.
You know, it's hard. I'm having a hard time checking where the whistle blew with this, but I've got him as a first down. You're allowed to get behind a pile and push it forward.
Yep.
So there wasn't any forward progress situation here.
We kept moving.
Where they spotted it, it wasn't going to be a first down. They're going to have to get.
Billy, can they review this? I mean, they
can review this.
But I mean, how do you do it with just a mass of humanity down there?
Well, what you have to do is hopefully with all the different camera angles, you can piece something together to where he actually ends up down.
Doesn't it matter when the whistle blows, though?
It would matter when the whistle blew. If the officials blew it dead.
I mean, the second time Penn State's been stopped on 4th and 1 is similar part of the field.
It's still alive, still alive. This is the question right there. Is he down yet? I mean, is that forward progress? Because if it's not, he ends up past the first down marker.
If he gets knocked backwards, you get forward progress.
His forward progress was stopped for a time there.
Was.
Before the whistle blew.
Onward.
Replay will not change it, and Auburn takes over. Another big stop on a 4th and 1. High formation. Penetration. Bigsby, no chance. Fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. That was Ebiketie.
So Penn State goes to the sideline after that 15-play drive where 12 of the plays were runs, and Brent Pry calls the whole defense around and says, they're not doing that again. We're going to win the line of scrimmage. They're not running on us, which means if you're proactive and you're Mike Bobo, you got to try to take advantage of that because they're going to be super aggressive against the run.
Nix, influenced by the rush, lofts it downfield, and it's broken up out there. That was Porter in coverage, defending Jackson.
Yeah, Porter, I don't know if Porter 9 at the top ever really locates the ball, able to adjust back on it. Ball is underthrown, which is a tough play for any corner. He continues on. The ball is underthrown, but he does, to his credit, you can see that right hand get in there and knock it away. If he doesn't make that effort, Jackson brings that ball down.
35-inch arms come in handy when you're playing corner. Now they need 10 on 3rd down. They bring pressure. Nix is flushed. He's got room to run. And he's going to make the first down with his legs at the Penn State 46. First time tonight he's really gotten loose as a scrambler.
Well, again, 3rd down, you better account for him. You see man-to-man. They bring pressure. Once he gets out, here's the only potential defender that's got a chance, and it's Sutherland, the safety. But he can't catch up with him. He was too far to the right. Just did not sit in the middle in case he went right or left. And because of that, Bo Nix, again, with that experience, recognized it immediately, didn't hesitate, took off. And a nice job by 10 there.
That's frustrating for a defense. Give up a scramble on 3rd and long. Hunter spins free. This is a Penn State team. Remember, it was on the field for 95 snaps against Wisconsin and held up late. Not on the field that much in the first half, but now they're being tested, as you pointed out, after that long drive.
They sure are. Brisker, that safety, got in there pretty quickly, but a good spin move. You see it a lot. These freshmen that play, they come in for spring. It's hard to imagine these guys are playing high school football. Now they're in front of 108,000 national TV out there playing with the big boys and doing well.
Hunter again, accelerates. Everybody in college football, by the way, has the spin move, right? The video game button. They all want to spin.
Yeah, of course. Well, in his case, he's got low center of gravity, 5'10", about 202 pounds. Out of Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Hometown of Marcus Dupree, by the way, pretty good back.
Right.
And Jarquez says they are distant cousins.
But when you have Hunter along with Bigsby, it's a really good 1-2 punch. We miss seeing Sean Shivers and wish him well. He'll be back hopefully soon for Auburn.
They fake it to Hunter. Nix pressured, backpedaling, and just throws it away. And now it's the Penn State crowd hollering for a grounding penalty. Brandon Smith heated up along with Ellis Brooks.
I don't think he got outside of the tackle box. That's what I think Penn State's fired up about. That ball was snapped just slightly to the right of the hash mark.
There is no foul or intentional grounding. The pass was outside the pocket, and the ball was beyond the line of scrimmage.
I know James Franklin's feeling a lot of love for this SEC recruit.
Chris, here is the tackle box, essentially just right to the outside of that hash mark. He's going to work to get outside of that tackle box, and then he throws it literally right on the line where the tackle was.
You see that call grounding a lot. Get it out quickly. Hudson, nice blocking on the edge. He muscled forward down near the 26-yard line. It's just short of the marker.
And Bo Nix felt with the 3 receivers, he went trips to the right. He had 2 that could block.
Jackson was blocking. He's slow to get up.
Yeah, he is. Loaded up there on the run game. And Jackson, he's had a busy night trying to make plays downfield and also blocking. He's been a valuable commodity for this offense.
Never totally comfortable on 3rd down as a visitor in this place, but Auburn again, 3rd and short. Just need a yard here. It's a long yard.
Penn State thinks 4 is getting the ball.
They're right, and they stop it for no gain. Ellis Brooks, the athletic linebacker, filled the gap, and it's 4th down. Final play of the 3rd quarter. And Harson's decision here on this 4th and 1, well within the range of Anders Carlson to cut the lead to 1. Good earlier from 45, this from 43. And he drives it through. So Auburn, a 9-play drive, settles for 3. The lead is just 1.
Was dialed into Peyton and Eli. Boy, the boys were crushing it last week. Look forward to hearing them again. They're having some fun.
So Penn State's lead from 11 down to just 1. And Ford will let this kickoff sail into the end zone.
Let's talk about the 3 plays that have been in question. This was 2nd and 15, so it was called 3rd down on the marker. But it was truly 2nd down and 15. The next play, they ended up punting. So that was one sequence. Then you have the spot. Mustafa comes in on 4th and 1. They spot it there. Looks like the play might be still alive, but they don't give him the 1st down. They stop him short. And then here is he outside of the tackle box. He looks like he's right on the line and doesn't get called for intentional grounding.
And they showed that play about 15 times on the screen. James Franklin had the officials. He was gesturing and pointing and lobbying. But you can't review that by replay.
Oh, yeah. He had him over. They were having about a 4 or 5 minute conversation. And the board here, it's not one of these stadiums where they shy away from controversial calls. They showed it, I don't know, 52 times. Maybe. I think I lost track.
Kane back in the game. Penn State now suddenly some urgency. That defense is tired. They could use a break. Penn State would love to sustain a drive. On 2nd and 8, Clifford in play action. Makes a long throw. Dotson makes the catch. Had to show some seriously strong hands as Pritchett was all over him.
Yeah, great throw, too. Puts it where he can protect the football using his body. These two always seem to be in sync. And the timing of that throw is important. Dotson gets hit. Maybe a little shook up, but he got hit as soon as he caught that ball, but good concentration. And again, we always talk about what good hands he has.
They've kept him from making the real electric long game, but 9 catches for 83 yards for Penn State's top playmaker, one of the top playmakers in the country.
Bringing the big tight end, worn down.
They got 3 of them in the game, Kurt, in this 1st down play. Kane tries to run behind those tight ends, but the Tigers clog it up.
Kind of a lost art sometimes with the spread and the tempo is just quarterback ball handling. Both these quarterbacks tonight, I've been watching, really well schooled by their quarterback coaches. You can tell they spend a lot of time on that. The reason that's important is that when you run the ball and you want a balanced attack and play action's a big part of your game, can affect those linebackers and safeties, create hesitation, create doubt by making those handoffs look just like, play action and making play action look just like a handoff.
Clifford throws it back. Catch made by Lovett. And Lovett is loose. Briefly gets into Auburn territory. Some pent-up energy from the guy who is finally making an impact. And Clifford shaking his hand out to try to run tempo, but the quarterback is struggling a bit.
Yeah, Lovett is so dangerous catching the ball into the backfield. He did that for quite a few years at Baylor.
Across the middle. Wide open. Strange, barreling down near the goal line, stopped just short. Another huge play from a Penn State tight end.
But he just gets lost. We've seen this a couple times. They bring pressure. Nobody picks up the tight end Strange. The linebacker that time came. Derek Hall, 29, was lined up right across from him, but a bust.
Tigers defense barely set. Washington takes a big shot. A yard short of the goal line by McCreary. And if flag is down, they may be looking at this hit. Some jawing after the play.
You know, I thought
hard hitting tonight, Kirk. It's been clean until that one.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 9. Previous play is under review.
Chris, I thought he led with his shoulder. It didn't look like he led with the crown of his head at all. You know, I thought he leaned his left shoulder in to contact.
There's another look.
Watch 9. Watch his left shoulder. Does he use his helmet? Or is he deemed defenseless in that act when he's trying to come off of a tackle?
I think you're right. He led with his shoulder. The helmet didn't make contact with the receiver. Bill Lamagna, bring you in here.
When you're near the ground, you go into defenseless category.
Okay.
So he gets hit with the shoulder. That's forcible contact. This is going to stand as a target. This is going to confirm as a target.
I got to ask, Bill, I'm a defender. I'm running as hard as I can to try to keep a guy out of the end zone. And I have to register in my mind, is he defenseless? Is he not defenseless? Are you kidding me? That's a tough ask.
It is. I don't question that. But on or near the ground turns you into a defenseless player.
That is hard.
So if you get hit with the helmet, you get hit with a shoulder, a forearm, to the head, then you've got targeting on a defenseless player.
Look at McLean over there, right where James Carter is looking at the hood. They're not involving Birmingham. The SEC crew here on site. John Bible is replay official. They're making the final decision along with Carter, and they wanted to see that angle again. That's why we showed that from the progressive
I'm glad
pylon.
Bill's here to say that once you get close to the ground, you're defenseless. But I think that's a really tough ask for a linebacker that's lowering in, trying to keep a ball carrier out of the end zone.
If I can add, that angle we have right there doesn't appear that he really nailed him in the head.
Okay.
It appears he got him in his shoulder.
It's a pretty harsh judgment if they rule
this could
targeting.
get turned around.
After review, the ruling of the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 9 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
That's tough. I mean, he just falls to the ground. He cannot believe he's been excluded from the final 12 minutes of this game. That is tough.
I hate to see that, man. I hate to see that.
You know, Penn State's had a defender ejected for targeting each of its first 2 games. That one seems like a tough call.
I usually understand the rule, and I don't always agree with it, but I understand what we're trying to accomplish. That's man, a guy all of a sudden gets lower to the ground, and now you got to figure out that he's defenseless, and you can't even use your shoulder in the head.
Ball inside the 1 on first down. Kane. Man, they are just not having anything easy inside against this Tiger defense. You might want to avoid the middle here.
90, Tony Fair, the UAB transfer, right in the middle of that. Remember, he's 330 pounds, but he's pretty sudden. He's a big body, but he uses quickness to be able to get a good push.
You're not moving 90 out of the way tonight.
No, it is tough sledding in between the guards. Uh-oh, here they go again.
Empty backfield. They scored early. Tyler Warren.
Maybe a pass? A little pop pass, or you think he's going to go up and over again?
The tight end takes the direct snap, looks to throw, and now has to take the loss back at the 4. Marcus Harris wasn't having it that time, and that wrinkle backfires.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it was almost too obvious, right? Watch Smoke Monday. To me, he's the key right here. He's locked in on the tight end, potentially sneaking out Strange. He takes him away, and Warren had nothing to do but to eat it. So good job, good discipline by Auburn there, taking away the pass and then rallying to the football.
From first and goal at the 1. They're backed up to third and goal at the 4. Kane motions back into the backfield. 3 receivers to the right. Play clock at 4. Got to hurry. They called a timeout.
Auburn.
Defensive timeout with the play clock at 1. Again, the defensive team chooses to stop the clock. An important moment coming up. January 10th in Indy is the championship game. Penn State now facing a third and goal. Ball back at the 4-yard line. Auburn's stops in the 2 previous 4th down plays, influencing the play calling down here. They tried the trickery. That didn't work. Now Kane back in the game.
And got Dotson right here, one-on-one with McCreary.
Washington also moves to that side in the slot. Kane has got it, cuts back and scores! Nothing fancy, just effective football. And Penn State stretches the lead.
Well, they were so concerned with the boundary, all these receivers. Look at the 4 defenders. Watch how they react at the snap of the ball. Look, you got 4 defenders that end up getting outside of the box area, and it makes it easy for a cutback lane for Noah Kane. I think they were all caught up thinking he's going to throw the ball. Look at all these receivers into the boundary. We got 3 guys we got to deal with, and took themselves right out of the play.
Penn State marches 75 yards in 9 plays. Noah Kane, their first rushing touchdown tonight. Greatness, Goodyear, more driven. The Red Sox may have been the first to use that in sports at Fenway, but Penn State has certainly adopted it in college football, and it's often imitated, never equaled.
Yeah, there's something about over 100,000 dressed in all white. It's pretty special.
All right, now the deficit is 8, and Auburn's going to have to begin with their backs to that loud student section. Meanwhile, the All-State bus, Curtis Wilson bringing it to State College. What's your All-State celebration moment today?
Well, Cincinnati had a tough battle in Bloomington today against Indiana. Trey Turner, turning point in the game late in the 3rd quarter. Just when Indiana scored, looked like they regained some momentum. He goes all the way to the house for a touchdown and a turning point in the game. The Bearcats hold on and win. Couple weeks from now,
are they a top 10 team?
Yeah, I think they are right now. Not a lot of pretty teams. I think they're top 10. They go to South Bend in a couple of weeks.
That'll be fun.
Their opportunity.
All right, Tigers down 8, 10-48. And Nix looking for somebody, backpedals and delivers, and it's Shanker, the tight end, is left alone. First down across the 40.
Yeah, I love to see this for Bo Nix. It's a great job. It's a guy that has forced the ball in the pass. As a 3-year starter, this is his growth. Work, don't give up. Don't use those legs. Stick with it. Works all the way back to the left to find Shanker, who wasn't even in his progression. That's growth and development right in front of you from Bo Nix.
Now a flag. This could be illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 12 plays in formation. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And they had 12 in the huddle, ran off late.
Yeah, there were a couple who came on. Kobe Hudson ends up running off late, so 12 men in a formation. So they have a big play, a positive play, and then, again, an inexperienced player that makes a mistake. Backs them up 5.
All in all, though, Kirk, they've handled the noise in here a lot better than most visitors do to the whiteout.
And I think the running game, especially in the second half, so it had a lot to do with that.
4 penalties for Auburn, 3 for Penn State. It's Robertson in motion on 1st and 15. Bigsby hammers ahead and gets back about 3 of those yards. Tangelo and Mustard for a clog in the middle.
You know, if you're an Auburn fan and you're watching this game and the whole season's in front of you, you're getting ready for conference play, I can tell you something. If you don't know a lot about Brian Harsin, you're going to start to really fall in love with his personality, what he was able to do at Boise State as a head coach. He's a very serious guy, and he's going to have his team always well prepared in every aspect of the game.
A little more vanilla than Gus Malzahn, a different personality entirely. On 2nd and long, Nix sets up and delivers into traffic. Robertson knocked down. 2 Lions sandwiched him. Jair Brown and Castro Fields.
Well, that requires a ball that's going to be thrown on time and thrown on a line, and Bo Nix squeezes it in there. I mean, it's a tough catch by Robertson. He's got to get behind the corner and in front of the safety. Corner sits back, makes it tough. You got a safety coming in, and Brown that's going to hit you. Ball hits him in the chest. You got to catch that ball, protect it, and get down.
Here's a moment for Nix now in this offense. 3rd and 12. Oh, Penn State made a move. Offensive tackle flinched.
False start. Offense, number 58 and 59. 5-yard penalty.
I was just praising how well they'd handled it. That was a tough miscue.
The tackles on islands are a very concerning thing in college football when you go on the road in this kind of environment. It's tough. You know, you got defenders across from you jumping. You got the student body right in front of you.
It just got tougher now. 3rd and 17. Nix looks to the right, zips it down the field, incomplete. Throw was low and behind Hudson, and it's 4th down. An important stand by this Penn State defense.
Well, I like the idea. Trying to hit a seam route. You got safeties that are split, so there's an opening there. He just couldn't quite get enough on that football. Kind of fell off of it as he made the throw. He just didn't quite have enough strength and velocity on the ball to get the ball thrown in there to Hudson.
Chapman to punt, by the way. Auburn has gone 156 games without having a punt blocked. Longest streak in the FBS. Just thought I worked that in there.
Yeah, you trying to jinx him?
I don't think Penn State even tries to block one. I mean, you're that kind of streak, you just back off.
Yeah.
We're not going to get there. Dodson's rarely had a chance to make a play as a returner tonight. Fields this one, eludes the first man, bobs and weaves through traffic, almost escapes. Finally caught from behind near the 30. Every touch is just electric for number 5. 53 in the punt, 16 on the return. Clifford and company take over, up 8. Wild card race, Mets and Reds. Your Reds are still in there. Come on, keep hope alive.
I'm trying, man. That tough loss today to the Dodgers.
You go south on the red leg so fast.
I'm a big-time reverse psychology Cincinnati Reds.
I'm on to you.
I'm abused as a fan, but just keep coming back.
Love it. Slips the tackle. Let's see the approach here. Your defense has just gotten a stop. You know Auburn has not hit you with shock plays. You're up by 8. How risky are you if you're the play caller, Mike Yursich here?
I think Mike Yursich right now has a quarterback that's playing his best game of his career as a starter. No question about it. 23rd career start. Clifford said that look at the first half, second half, and the numbers. He had the 1 pick, but for the most part, man, he is in control and command of this new system, feeling good about it. So I still think it's a mixed bag. I don't think you're sitting there running the ball, working clock. I think you trust your quarterback.
Play action on 2nd and 7. Clifford on the run and throws a safe one on the sideline. And the catch is made by Strange, a little short of the marker, stays in bounds.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You put him in a position, put the ball in his hands. He's athletic enough, Chris, that if he does get trouble, he can escape and either throw it away or find a tight end or find a receiver. And that time he finds a tight end and set up another 3rd and short.
Yeah, bad news is it's 3rd and 1. And Penn State's had little success on these short yardage situations.
They are 5 of 8 on the night, which has been a lot better than the first 2 games where they struggled against Wisconsin and even last week against Ball State.
No doubt, but trying power football near the yard hasn't been effective.
Yeah, you don't want to go up the middle.
Dodson comes in motion, pop, pass, they're all over it. They string the play out, and they drop him for a loss. And Auburn, the defense rises up and gets a key stop. Penn State still can't move the sticks on 3rd and 4th and short.
Good job by T.D. Moultrie getting upfield there. That was huge. See McClain, he's been taken out of the game, but still involved emotionally. And I think Chandler Wooten ends up making the tackle, but Moultrie forces him outside and kind of disrupted the timing.
If Auburn is able to come back and win this game, an enormous part of it, maybe the biggest part, have been short yardage stops by this defense. Time and again. Penn State's lead could be huge. Tigers defense has been very stout when backed up. Stout's punt, fair cut at the 25. 7:02 to play. Section sauce to get the committee's attention. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell. Penn State's 3 and out could only use 2:09 off the clock.
Remember that last 75-yard touchdown drive where they ran it 12 times?
Yep.
There's still plenty of time to go back to being the offense that they want to be, which is controlling the line of scrimmage and running the football and picking your spots on play action.
You know, they got Bigsby in there. They give him the rock to start the drive. And Penn State's definitely keying in on number 4 now.
Yeah, and if you sense that, then that's when you try to get aggressive on an early down where those safeties and linebackers are coming downhill. You try to make them pay for that. But I think you get on the back of number 4, you mix in a little bit of 27 Hunter, And that's got to be your bread and butter.
If you do make it a long, grinding drive, you do put everything on this possession.
Yeah.
You may not get too many more possessions.
I'm not saying give up on the passing game. I'm just saying it's...
I hear you. Mix it.
Yeah.
There's a second down run, and Bigsby moves the 6 across the 35.
He has such acceleration, and all it takes is one guy on one of these zone plays to be out of his gap integrity. If he misses a gap, you're going to get creased, and Tanks Bigsby is as good as you're going to see in college football to me.
He's approaching 100 yards the hard way. It's taken 21 carries, scored a couple of touchdowns. Nix with a keeper, stiff arm, able to elude one backer, is knocked out of bounds, and here comes a flag. So Penn State's Brandon Smith, a personal foul, will add 15, and that'll move the ball into Penn State territory.
Yeah, it's pretty good acting there by Bo Nix to go down. He touched him. He just touched him, but it was because he was about a couple yards out of bounds. But I love what Bo Nix did. This is how you draw a foul. I mean, he just touches him. And watch Bo Nix, rightly so, goes down.
Personal foul. Defense.
I know you're a big European soccer fan. You know those guys that, I don't get it, but they go down on the ground and they try to draw a yellow card or a red card. That's what Bo Nix just did. You should appreciate that, being a soccer guy.
But we're playing football tonight.
I know, but I'm just telling you, watch. He barely touched him, and Bo Nix said, oh, whoa, look out, coming in hot. 15 yards.
That's crucial, and Penn State fans are again not loving the decisions made by the SEC crew. I'm telling you. Now the ball is inside the Penn State 45. Mental mistake though by Smith to even get near him, perhaps.
Besides the call, the penalty, I like the play call on 1st and 10, using the legs of Bo Nix to break up the running of Tank Bigsby.
Two-back look. Bigsby motions back in, gets the handoff, gets the edge, and gets about 8 or 9. Nice block by his backfield mate Hunter that time.
Yeah, really good job by Shanker, also 47. He kind of sealed the edge, had a nice block, and then the younger Hunter leads the way. Watch 47 right in front of you, right there. Nice job. Just hold him up just long enough. That gets him to the corner and picks up 8 yards.
Bigsby now over 100 yards tonight against a very stout defense. Nix gets it out in traffic. Catch made by Jackson. Ball pops out. It's scooped up by Joey Porter Jr. Foot race. They'll never catch him. It's signaled a touchdown. They will take a look to see if the receiver was down. For now, it's pandemonium at Penn State.
Now they're definitely going to want to take a look at this to see if his back touched.
Penn State's lining up. Let's kick the PAT in a hurry here.
Of course they are. I mean, you saw him trying to rip at the football. It was Curtis Jacobs, 23, trying to rip at the ball. But they're such a big play, they're going to have to take a look at this.
The field is a fumble recovered by the defense. The previous play is under review.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to quick snap the PAT. That's too crucial a play not to take a look at it.
The ball being juggled. No, he's down. He's down right there. It's no question. I mean, you can look at it again, but he's got possession of the ball when his
back touches the ground.
Yeah, he touches right there.
Yeah, I think he has control of the ball. They're beginning to try to rip away from it. Let's bring in Bill as they review this. He's still got a grip on it, Bill, enough for you to call that possession?
I've got firm control of the ball when he hit the ground. The official from the outside can't see that, so he made the assumption the ball came out.
Yeah.
But also in that play, aren't they taught to let it go, let the play result, and then rely on replay?
That's correct. And replay's going to reverse this to run her down.
Billy, this is the best look at it, I think. I mean, you can see the ball in his grasp.
Yes.
As he hits the ground and it pops out.
Yeah, he's down.
But if you blow the whistle there and don't give the opportunity to run it back and let the play run out, that could be an egregious error.
It could.
In fact, he wasn't.
You could get an immediate recovery, possibly.
But without all the yards.
But you don't get any of the yards.
Yeah. So that's the right call on the field, but they're going to reverse this. I think we're all in agreement there.
Now, here's one of the other.
By the way, Bill, it is if they spot this correctly, it'll be a first down at about the 33-yard line for Auburn.
Right, and there's a new rule this year about timing.
After review, The runner was down prior to the ball going loose. It was first down at the 34-yard line.
The new rule about timing says until you get under 5 minutes, you do not put time back on the clock. And that probably ran another 10, 12 seconds off the clock.
And in a close game,
that return.
That's critical.
So it's critical, but they said now replay does not put time on until you're
under
below 5 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, good stuff, Bill. Appreciate it.
Auburn didn't care about the time off the clock. They got the football, they got a first down and a chance to score and go for two and perhaps tie this game. We've already seen 2 football games today involving Bama and Clemson having to stop an opponent on a 2-point try to avoid overtime, and both were successful.
That's right.
Will Penn State be in that position shortly? First down. Fake it to Bigsby. Nix. Lofting to the edge. Robertson. Ooh, he never located the ball.
No.
He was open. He got past Castro Fields. Didn't see the football.
No, and he never found the football. It was thrown to his outside, and as a receiver, you always got to anticipate that. He just works to the outside. I don't think Castro Fields, he had his eyes peeking in the backfield off the play-action look. He's beaten. But Bo Nix threw it high and far to the outside, and as you said on your call, Robertson never located the football and tried to have a chance to go up and make a play on it.
Castro Fields breathing deeply for a couple reasons there. Hunter's a man still running. Look at this freshman down inside the 10. He jumped right over Porter.
Watch this formation first of all. Look at the linebackers' confusion. Watch as the ball is pitched. They all run to this way, thinking the ball is going this way, and instead it's going the other way. So the formation created some doubt, some hesitation by the linebackers, and then the play call. I love it, the athletic ability by Hunter going up in the air.
Ronaldo Nehemiah, who played a little football too. That was classic hurdling, first and goal Tigers.
What a call there.
Nix throws and tries to throw a back shoulder throw. Attempted it, Porter recovering Jackson, second down.
Chris, you know from following Boise State over the years with Chris Peterson and Brian Harsin, originally was there as an offensive coordinator. They were known for the razzle-dazzle plays, but really they are blue-collar, downhill running team. But they'll throw in a few gadget plays. They'll save a formation. They'll save a personnel grouping. They'll save a few things late in a close game to bring out, to try to create some hesitation. And that's exactly what they did on that last play to pick up those yards.
Now they've got 3 tight ends, but the play clock is winding down. It's at 4. Bigsby tries to bounce it. Cannot get the edge. Wrestled out by Porter and Brisker. Third and goal.
Joey Porter Sr.'s got to be so proud of his son. As a corner, he's known for his ability to cover at 6'2", 192. He takes on that tight end, keeps that outside arm free, and shows that he's a willing participant when it comes to tackling. Great job, Joey Porter Jr. Love to see it.
2 future Sunday players combining in that tackle, part of this talented secondary. Third and goal for Nix. Pitches it in the flat. Shaker, the tight end, muscling. Can't get there. Lost the ball at the end of the play. Auburn's got it. It's 4th down and 2.
That ball came out that time. Joey Porter was ripping at that football. Give Shanker credit. He's giving every ounce of effort to get there. And look at Porter ripping at that ball. Comes out, but it came back to the big tight end. This is it.
Tigers need 3, 4th down. And take a timeout to talk about it. An absolute thriller in whiteout number 13. Back and forth. Both teams giving everything they got in a late September non-conference game.
All the folks out there that are enjoying this game, decision makers who do the scheduling, and I know we do it really far down the road, how much excitement has this Big Ten SEC matchup created all week. The talk about the whiteout, the talk about Auburn with a new coach coming into this environment, good against good, and it has lived up to the billing. What an atmosphere we would love. College football fans and players are the beneficiaries of wonderful matchups like this. I hope we see more of them in the future. This is great.
And the folks around here have waited, what is like 660 days since they've had a whiteout. Auburn getting a taste of it for the very first time. These fans in orange booked this about a year ago just to be a part of this scene. And this game has been a thriller. And now it comes down to this. What's Mike Bobo going to call on this fourth down play?
He's going to put the ball in the hands of his quarterback and let him read and either hand it off to Tank Bigsby if it looks good in the box, or pull it and get him on the edge with the ability to run or throw. Give him lots of options because of his ability to make plays.
Nix, fade, no chance. Two men tangled up, no flag. Brisker was defending Hudson. And the Lions make a stand with 3:08 to play.
I don't really like the call. I don't understand the call. I mean, it's a low percentage throw. You got your best defensive back and Brisker back there as a safety. And the call right there, I mean, both the receiver and the defender are looking at the ball. To me, if anything, Hudson actually tugs at Brisker. But the fact, Bill, that Brisker is looking back at the ball helps him.
I'm with you, Kirk, on the call. If you want to challenge somebody in the edge, Jaquan Brisker is the #1 athletic freak on this defense.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat him in a play like that very often.
No, I thought with Bo Nix's athletic ability, get him on the edge, give him a chance to run it or throw it. But hey, 3:08, got a timeout. See what happens here. Penn State pinned deep in their own territory here.
Clifford in the end zone on the shotgun as the Tigers crowd the line. And there's a flag, a false start. That'll cost them about 4 feet or so.
False start. Offense, number 53. Half a distance to the goal. Remains first down.
Nick's hoping he gets another chance. And if his defense can force a punt, they could get excellent field position.
Yeah. They obviously need the 3 and out, hold on to that one last time out. If they're able to hold them, they'll get the ball right around midfield.
Clifford has to go back under center with the ball just outside the 1-yard line. It's Kane in the end zone, fighting to get out of it, and does avoid a safety. Officials are spotting him about a foot outside of the goal line. Burks, Harris there again on the stop.
Well, you got a defense that just knows what's coming, right? I mean, you know Noah Kane's going to get the football, just barely gets outside of that goal line. You can see his upper torso there with the ball. Progressive pylon cam giving you a view. Smoke Monday's able to come in there. Yeah, he got across the line.
Yeah, same rules as touchdown. Guess got to break the plane to get it out to avoid his safety. Second down. Lions use the whole play clock, and Clifford wants to get it to Dotson on the edge. Coming back, interference on Pritchett. That's a part of that play call. If you don't get a catch, you hope you get a flag.
Well, I'm going to go back to it. How many coaches, play callers, make that call in this kind of game where the team has one timeout?
Pass interference. Defense, number 18, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Again, it shows the trust that Mike Yursich has in his senior quarterback, Sean Clifford. Put it up in the air, give your guy a chance. Worst case, we don't catch it. Best case, you either catch it or you get pass interference. That's exactly what they got. We just talked about the Penn State defender and what a good job Brisker did of getting his head turned around, looking for the football, and the officials will give you the benefit of the doubt. There's an example of the opposite end of the spectrum. Pritchett never locates the ball. He's in contact with Dotson, and it's an easy call for the official.
No surprise, Kane gets the first down handoff and gains a yard. So just the one timeout, because Auburn spent one earlier on defense.
Yeah.
That could be crucial here. Not going to spend it here. It will be second down and 9. College football rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. The Crimson Tide survived a serious scare in the swamp by stopping a 2-point conversion. Led 21-3, then they had to hang on.
Yeah, I know Dan Mullen's not into moral victories, but Florida was really impressive today in that loss. Bama fortunate to get out of there. Oklahoma struggling against a pesky Nebraska team. And Ohio State, they ended up pulling away, but not necessarily in a dominant performance themselves.
Penn, nothing. Gang tackled by the Tigers.
Auburn's going to use that timeout.
Yep.
1:29.
Spend the last one here with 1:29. If Penn State's able to hold on, all the top 10 would have survived this week.
Good word for it.
Exactly. It is the word for some of these games. Another reminder, Packers and Lions, NFC North matchup, 6 o'clock, Monday night countdown. And the ball game on ESPN, and also the Peyton and Eli analysis on ESPN2.
How great is it to have football back? College football on Saturday, high school football is on Friday night. College football all day Saturday. Well, I'm going to get home, try to get back. We got UCLA and Arizona State. Or I'm sorry, Arizona State, BYU.
Right.
And then if you're really into football, you got UCLA playing really late against Fresno.
Sign me up for that.
We might be able to go till 2 in the morning tonight. then we got NFL all day tomorrow.
James Franklin saying, listen, we get one more first down, it's our ball game, but not going to be easy. They need 10 yards here.
Well, I know they trust Sean Clifford, but don't you have to run here? They're out of timeouts. 1:29. You got to run the ball here and keep that clock moving, I would think. Never know.
Or a very high percentage throw. Now Clifford is always going to be a design run, and he just falls down for a loss. And now, see, they'll have to punt the ball about 50 seconds or so in the game. And they'll use all that play clock. He may spend a timeout.
Probably let it go down to 1 second and end up using one of their timeouts.
So Auburn defense does its job. There was the pass interference that cost them some time and kept Penn State from punting it at their own end line.
When it's all said and done, they're going to have about 40 seconds with a football. No timeouts. And they're going to need to go about probably 60 yards, 50, 60 yards, try to get a touchdown.
That's all you got to do in the whiteout crowd to get a touchdown, then go for 2 and get overtime.
Do I need to remind you? The first game in Bo Nix's career, Oregon, we were down in Arlington at Jerry's house. His first game, they were outplayed much of the game, and Bo Nix out of nowhere hit Seth Williams for a touchdown to pull that one out. So just saying, you got some Bo Nix magic. Remember that his first start.
That was serious magic. It set the bar very high. The expectations after that raised even more for a guy who's a legacy.
I'll tell you, man. I like the look of Bo Nix. Whether they win this or they don't, Brian Harsin, Tank Bigsby, young receivers are going to be growing up. There's a lot to like about this Auburn football team.
Jordan Stout has been a clutch punter. Comes in averaging 53 yards, and he can boom the ball. See if he can hang it up there, let the coverage team get down there. Here's a high kick. Robertson makes a late wave of a fair catch. So 38 seconds to go, and they are 63 yards away.
Yeah, this Penn State defense stepped up when they had to. Auburn was driving the ball down the field. It looked like they were going to have a chance. They moved it down inside the 5-yard line. Needed a goal line stand. Questionable call. It's all or nothing. Questionable play call. Not the call by the officials, but a questionable play call and a low percentage throw. But they do get the ball back with 38 seconds with no timeouts. Let's see what Bo Nix can do.
You touch their best defensive player on a fade. That's what they kind of did in that situation.
Yeah.
Here we go. Can Nix create more magic? Again, no timeouts. Penn State comes after him. Nix retreats, and a low throw. Never had a chance. That was an aggressive call by Brett Pry.
Really was. They decided instead of rushing 3 and dropping 8, let's get after him, especially if they get a sack. Oh, man. I mean, the game's not quite over, but without timeouts, it's the last thing Bo Nix can do. Bo Nix right now is thinking incompletions are okay, first downs, obviously, and getting out of bounds. That's what he's thinking right now because the clock is everything for Bo Nix.
Very few downfield shots. Who can be a playmaker to gain a big chunk here? Nix has good protection, throws it underneath the Robertson. A very short gain, gets out of the 46, 28 seconds to go. It'll be 3rd and short.
Again, one of your options there, just get out of bounds. It's 3rd down and short. Penn State more than happy to give up. They want to keep everything in front of them.
Just one Penn State defender with his hand in the ground, but they do bring pressure late, and Nix gets it out of there, complete. Hudson escaped briefly, is tackled at the 40.
Now you want to fire it into the ground, stop the clock. Get those linemen up, get them lined up, fire into the clock. There you go.
Do that.
Good job.
17 seconds, 40 yards away.
Penn State almost willing to give up some of those yards. The only thing they didn't do a good job of right away is tackling him as soon as he caught the football. Cannot afford. They gave him about another 10 yards after the catch.
In the opener was Wisconsin, Kirk driving in this position, and Brisker made a pick, and then Brown made a pick to seal it.
Yeah.
Once again, this defense is going to have to get a stop.
Safety do a good job of reading the quarterback's eyes, something Bo Nix has got to be careful of.
Penn State rushes 4. Nix launches downfield into double coverage, and it's overthrown. They were bracketing Jackson that time. 10 seconds to go. So the clock is the biggest factor right now.
It almost felt like a little bit of a desperation, right? I mean, there's one receiver side, 2 defenders over there. He had 3 receivers to his left, but he looked right the whole way. Just kind of threw it up here now. I feel like he almost trying to draw a pass interference there. Not at 10 seconds, no. I'm trying like a crossing route at about 12 to 15 yards, come up, stop the clock, and take one more shot at Hail Mary. I'm not throwing this up. I'm trying to get about a 15-yard gain.
Nix
right there
throws it over the middle. Catch is made.
Perfect.
It is a first down.
Now you fire it.
Now
you fire it. You get one last play.
The sticks.
Yep, that's what you wanted.
Wind the clock, spike it, and it's 3 seconds to go from the 26-yard line.
Now you got a chance. I like this a lot better. You can actually call a play from here as opposed to being back where they just were, back around the 40-yard line, and you're just kind of throwing up a Hail Mary. You got a play call here.
Penn State not spending a timeout on defense.
Also like that they're going 2 by 2 instead of trips to one side and one receiver on the other. They're going to go 2 by 2.
Can Nix create a miracle? Or will Penn State's defense make another crucial stop? Nix pressure, launches over the middle. It is incomplete, and Penn State holds on. Jaquan Brisker with the breakup. A thriller as the Lions hold on. The ball game that goes right down to the final seconds. A celebratory whiteout for James Franklin and the Nittany Lions. Holly?
Coach Franklin, 2 straight times the game is on the line and your defense shows up, particularly Brisker. How do you describe the ending to this game for your defense?
We've been playing championship level football all year long because we're being assignment sound. We're playing with heart, but we also got big players stepping up in special moments. I think Brisker's a great example of that.
Your passing game and your quarterback, Jahan Dotson was terrific in so many phases. Sean Clifford, sound, clean football. How do you describe what they accomplished?
I'm really happy for Sean. He's taken a lot of criticism. I'm really happy for him. He battles his ass off. He's tough as hell. And they played great tonight, so I'm really happy for him. Obviously, Jahan Dotson, I think he's one of the best receivers in the country.
Coach, I know it's a whiteout, so this game means something special. How much does it mean to beat an SEC team like this?
We're happy to be 1-0 and do it in front of our fans. and our family and our friends, and it's great to have football back in Happy Valley.
Well, this guy was so good tonight. Sean Clifford, coach says you take criticism. How do you shake it off and perform at such a high level in a moment like this?
It's all about a 1-0 mentality. I lean on my brothers on the team. We had a great team. Really proud of these guys. Offensive line, I got to give all the credit to the offensive line. I mean, they were there all night long. I had so much time. So proud of those guys. Proud of guys like this right here. My man Jesse. So proud of our team.
That defense showed up for you big time tonight. You have said this is the closest team you've ever had. How does that chemistry paying off in this moment right now?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, every single time that we step on the field, I know the defense has our back and we have the defense back, and we all come together for special teams. So it's a true family here at Penn State, and we're just glad to be 1-0.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you very much.
A year ago, this team was deflated by an opening loss to Indiana. Discombobulated, disconnected. There was no camaraderie. COVID hit this team hard. James Franklin admits it. A year later, quarterback sprinting down to celebrate with his teammates.
Hey, just don't hurt anything, right? Just don't turn it in.
Penn State hasn't had a start this good in a long time, Dirk. You win at Wisconsin. You handle the MAC champions here. Beat an SEC team. You're 3-0. The hype will begin to build for this group.
I think you just touched on something that's really important. This football team suffered not just with COVID and what everybody had to deal with. They were embarrassed. They started 0-5 here. This program's turned a corner over these last 5 years. They before the COVID year, 3 of the 4 years, they were in New Year's 6 bowl games. Cotton, Rhodes, Fiesta, and then last year hit. These seniors did not want to go out like that. That's why when Holly asked, how are you so tight? Because they went through so much adversity last year, and now they beat Wisconsin and Madison. You find a way to beat Auburn, you're right. It's a lot of magic. They rushed, by the way, 4 here, dropped 7. Really smart by Brent Pry. He had nowhere to go with the ball. He's trying more than anything to squeeze one in. Brisker, boy, continues to step up and make plays late in the game for this defense. A quarterback, he's read his eyes, waited for him to throw it, and then stepped in front of it. Great job by this Penn State defense against an Auburn offense that was physical and trying to challenge them in that red zone.
Don't lip read. He's happy, folks.
Fired up.
Wow. This team has a very strong defensive personnel. They got beat up by the running game a little bit, and Nick's not quite able to come up with the magic when he needed it. And Clifford, as he said, this is a very cohesive team. Kicking game, defense, offense. It's impressive.
Yeah, it is. And Penn State deserves a lot of credit. They won the game. I'm going to tell you something again. If you're an Auburn fan, you're frustrated, but you've got something to build on here. And be proud of that.
Nothing quite like a Penn State whiteout. Celebration and song right now. A really, really hard-fought football game between the SEC and the Big Ten tonight. And Penn State goes to 3-0. I agree with you, Kirk. Auburn, a lot to build on. They battled their guts out tonight. A couple plays short. They got to go to LSU and Arkansas. They got Georgia sandwiched in the middle. It gets no easier for them.
Oh, no. But they've got a quarterback that's got guts, and he's got a new offense, and he's got young players around him that are going to get better, and they got a defense with Derek Mason that's going to keep him in most of the games they play.
The return of the whiteout produces an instant classic and a piece of Penn State lore that will live on. Clifford says, let's take a victory lap. Final score, Penn State 28, Auburn 20. Game produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Derek Mobley. Thanks to our entire crew here in the booth and in the truck. Arizona State BYU in action on ESPN, except on the West Coast. Stay tuned for your local news. For Holly Road, for Curb Street, I'm Chris Fowler. Good night from Happy Valley.